atomic. Moon dust still in the folds of my hands. You look up, but your sky is crowded. Tiny screens drowning out the span. Every face glowing in the blue light. Every street buzzing sharp and loud. I float in the gravity of old fights. You laugh like it's just another cloud. From up there, you're a blue marble, bruised paper thin halo, hanging abused. I held my breath as you spun in the dark. How can you burn what you are? How can you burn what you are? Saw your eyes through a scratched window. Porcelain balanced on black. Every wall looked like dust and water. Every border just a nervous crack.
Now I'm back!
And the ground feels
That's right.
fragile. Cracked cups stacked in a kitchen sink. You scream about lines on a map while your oceans crawl closer to the brink. From up there, you're a blue marble, bruised paper thin halo, hanging abused. I held my breath as you spun in the dark.
How can you burn what you are? How can you do it? All right. What's up, people? Check. Oh, we gotta get Insta up. Come on now. All right. All right. We're up on Instagram now. It's working. How many? How many switches I have to flip to get this show off the ground? It's crazy. Staring at the wax. Come on now. Oh, God. Try to the sound guy? Wait, I'm a sound guy. Oh, yeah. You know it's real. You know it's real. Halo. All right, here we go. Release the cats. Believe me, they're free. All right. If you listen carefully at the end of this song, you can hear the balloon that is the Earth pop. Hey, here it comes. There it is. I was already thinking of the video when I was like, I need an explosion, and then I was like, what if it just kind of is lighter than that? And so it's a balloon. It's a balloon popping sound effect. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, etc., etc., etc. There's so much to cover today. You know, one of the things that I notice when we're getting these stories is that, there's Democrats crowing about, how terrible things are. And here comes Donald Trump and he's got all this good news and nobody will listen to it. You know what I mean? Apparently, well, I'll show you. Home prices are amazing and that is going incredibly well. Let's check in on Fox News. Housing crisis. Mortgage rates make big move for the first time in 6 weeks. Oh, that's that's not good. You know what? That's got to be a rarity. Hold on. There's something that's probably better. Um, let's see. Where is it? Yeah, yeah. Think what you will about the Iran special military operation, but but at least there are some talks going on. They might be, they're not on the top line. There's a back channel, right? We know that Trump at least says, look, it may not look like we're having negotiations, but there is a back channel going on. Um, Fox Business. Deadline day. Iran denies report. Back channel talks with U.S. Okay, so maybe all right. Maybe there isn't a back channel, and again, that's probably my fault for checking in on the story with obviously a left leaning fake news organization like Fox News. But maybe I'll tell you what. Maybe the idea is that we haven't given God and religion a chance. Maybe we need to, learn from maybe the Christian nationalists and the right wingers have something to teach us all, and we're just stiff arming them, right? We're like, get back, and we, we could just go, hey, maybe there's what can I take for this person how can I be more Jesus like in my approach to thine enemies, as it were. And then the good empathy is killing us. All right, well, okay, that's Eric Metaxas, who, if you'll recall, was on the Copeland Network, Flashpoint all the time with Gene the Jesus Machine and Stank Kuhneman and all those folks. Who, by the way, they bounced Stank a while back. Apparently, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to get a diddle report from his church in Oklahoma, or worse, they could have just realized that none of his predictions came true. He was one of those people that said Jesus was going to make Trump become president again in like 2021 in like August. Yeah, took him a while, but look,
Hey there,
everybody.
folks. Welcome to the program.
Oh, shut
My
up.
guest.
This is their, everybody's got their own learning curve. Now, real quick, I'd like to point out something. Let's go back to that housing video I was going to show you right there. Now, you'll notice that there's not a thumbnail on the screen. There is one, but it's kind of unimportant on the actual video. But let me show you where I am on the timeline of this particular video, which is titled "Housing Crisis: Mortgage Rates Make Big Move for the First Time in 6 weeks." Big move sounds promising, even if it isn't. For the first time in 6 weeks, clutch the pearls. Oh my God, it's a once in a 6 week kind of a change. You don't say. Um, I think they have a word for that somewhere. Is it volatility? I'll look it up. Anyways, you'll notice that they don't get to the mortgage thing till about I think even further along. But you see this red line? That's halfway through the video. This is what is this? 6 minutes 51 seconds. The beginning of this is all like the socialisms. Oh my God. Okay, I'll show you like we'll watch. Maria doesn't want to be here for this. It's all fucking bad news. So she's probably taking more time than usual. The woman who doesn't suffer fools gladly. What was her name? She's down on here. Whoever the girl filling in. She's on Fox Business occasionally. She's the one that was like, if we're talking to them and they're not doing it, are we talking to the right people in Iran? Like that kind of stuff. You can tell she went to business school and she's like, how the fuck did I end up cradling Trump's balls in this economic nightmare? And you're like, well, Fox News, it's on your check, lady. I don't know what to tell you. But so I'll show you what I mean. The beginning of this.
Incumbent Florida Congressman Jared Moskowitz beat progressive candidate Oliver Larkin in last night's primary by a wide margin. But a DSA candidate
Look at that. Okay. Like, again, an incumbent, normal. Probably the most like kind of business friendly Floridian Democrat who's actually, Moskowitz has been great in a lot of ways, but like that's the district, right? You're not going to get a progressive that's that far off the chain in that district, and that's proof. Like Moskowitz curb stomped the guy's campaign. Normal, that's the area. Representative government, it's a bitch, but it's real. Um, and that's the story. That's their opening. Like you can't paint the whole district as a bunch of fucking commies now because Moskowitz is going to be the guy running. And I'm sorry if the video is low. I'll turn it up a little bit. Moskowitz, it's an incumbent one. He had a left flank attack and it failed. End of conversation. Again, primary is going to primary. It's not that big of a deal. But watch what they fall to and watch the language that she uses about a state senate. A state senate candidate. Sometimes my brain gets ahead of my tongue, and sometimes that's okay. The state senate candidacy of one district there, they're like, oh my God, but check this out. And again, I'm not saying that state senate seats aren't important. They are. But in a state like Florida, even the most extreme candidates are going to be ice skating uphill to get anything accomplished because of the structure of the state senate in Florida, because of the Republican voter base. That's just how it is. So even if you have a super purpley, or a super blue district, it's not going to matter all that much because of what they're up against, unless you can get, again, flip a red seat and we'll talk. That's my thing. Like, you don't get points for bluer. But here we go. So this is where they go to. Moskowitz may have won, and now we got to really have a campaign instead of just yelling communist. I don't know what the fuck else we've got to run on. But don't worry, a state senate
Oliver Larkin in last night's primary by a wide margin. But a DSA candidate handed a surprising win in the Senate primary.
State Senate primary. Notice how she said Senate primary?
State Rep Angie Nixon beating Alex Vindman, despite him raising millions of dollars to her six-figure fundraising. Nixon will go.
Yeah, she's already in there. She's doing the job. That's why. Okay, so
on to face incumbent Republican Senator Ashley Moody in November. At least 7 DSA House candidates on the ballot in solid Democrat districts, all expected to win.
Right. In solid Democrat districts. Exactly. That's the point. Also, by the way, you'll notice she's talking about Florida, and she's talking about the very progressive candidates, but they will always show the DSA. Now, why? Because not all progressive candidates are created equal, I would argue, right? Just because you view yourself as a progressive, that doesn't mean you, let's say, you don't have to be DSAs are not the progressive group. They're not the only game in town, certainly. And here's why they want you to think that. They want you to think all progressives are DSA. DSA is all progressives, and all progressives are communists, and that's how they're going to do it. All right. Let me share with some. This is from the DSA's own web page. Okay, the Abolition Working Group. Well, I got to tell you, as the son of a long line of Northern Kentucky abolitionists, people who family split during the Civil War, families were split during the Civil War. Not mine. Fighting for the North, the whole deal, right? Yank through and through in that regard, just because, northern central Kentucky and northern Kentucky versus, say, Tennessee, something. Anyways, abolition sounds like, oh, good. I'm against slavery, and I hope if it exists, we should all be against it. Okay. What's the abolitionist working group for at the DSA? Defund, abolish, create. The National Abolition Working Group was formed to create a collective orientation towards abolitionist organizing within the DSA and to build meaningful relationships with external organizations committed to the struggle for liberation. Well, cool. We're all anti-slavery, I think. We're both building our internal capacity to do abolitionist work. Cool. I feel like I'm reading an old newspaper from the 1800s, as well as bolstering existing campaign work through trainings and convenings that provide space for chapter membership to share strategy and resources that, okay, someone did this in an early version of ChatGPT. I'm annoyed now. This sounds like business speak. And resources that move the work forward. What would that work be? Okay, we look forward to actualizing the demands outlined in DSA's political platform through mass principled struggle as abolitionists committed to the formation of a socialist society. Cool. Okay, there's the word socialist and free. Okay, so what are the DSA political platform in regard to their abolitions? What are their demands? Which, by the way, I find adorable. In a representative government, you have a platform and you have plans. If you have demands, I think you're going to need a hostage. If you like, I don't know why anybody would listen to your demands unless you're holding something they want. But it's lovely revolutionary language over there on the DSA webpage. But here you go. We are committed to the horizon of abolition and the path leading us there. Our demands. 1. Defund the police by rejecting any expansion to police budgets or scope of enforcement while cutting budgets annually towards zero. So there will be, this isn't defund the police. The goal is the elimination of policing entirely. And all I can think of is this sounds a lot like what Trump is trying to do with the SEC. End the criminalization of working class survival. I don't quite know what that means other than, I guess, I think they mean petty theft. I think they mean the idea that, like, shoplifting. That's usually what they're talking about there. And again, the idea that somebody steals food because they're starving, and that they should be thrown in jail for that is a little stupid, obviously. But you can't miss the fact that, like, criminal organizations realize that once San Francisco decriminalized a certain amount of theft, New York did it. They just organized people in theft rings because they couldn't get arrested. And they used that as a window. And suddenly the people who were like, I was just stealing food because I was hungry, are now competing for that with a bunch of people who are storming in stores with giant bags and just stealing everything. And as long as it's under 1,000, they can fuck off. And also, how do you pay a fine if you don't have any money? That's the point. Like, you're only finding the people who will criminalize this in an organization, which is exactly what happened. I get it, though. And also, I happen to think that if someone is hungry, we should feed them. That would be the easier part. Instead of just trying to eliminate, like, criminal penalties for theft, which, by the way, Don Jr. and Eric would love. How about we just build a stronger, more resilient safety net for people who need food and stuff? Have they just given up on that entirely? Have they just given up on the welfare state and they're just like, nah, we're just gonna just steal what you want? We're trying. Distribution's a pain in the ass. I worked at a soup kitchen. Those people are mean. Like, that's what it feels like. All right. Third, freedom for all incarcerated people. Freedom for all incarcerated people. Or like, that whole sentence is so fucking nuts. So every rape victim's just gotta deal with the fact that all those dudes are going to be on the bus. That's how this is. Really? Now I could say we don't want prisons. We want rehabilitation centers, or maybe we shouldn't be throwing people who are crazy in jail. Completely agree. Or that the term penitentiary should be, these should be rehabilitation facilities. But that conversation's been had many times, and it's been tried and it works in various levels. Jails are better rehabilitation spaces than prisons, obviously. A prison is for a person who's got 15 rape victims or dead children. Like, watch any murder trial and then tell me how anybody like types this sentence. I don't get it. Yeah, every pedophile, you're free to go. What is that? Like, uh, I would I would go like any person. I can understand if they went with every person in that was every poor person incarcerated for theft, non-violent crimes, right, to some degree. But again, is defrauding like Enron was a non-violent crime. You know what I mean? White collar crimes, by and large, are non-violent crimes. Almost everybody incarcerated in the same facility with Ghislaine Maxwell is there for a non-violent crime. Yeah, wrongfully incarcerated, of course. Moon Girl, that would make sense. But I don't know how you type that fucking sentence and don't go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I smell almonds. I must have lost my fucking mind." I would love for anybody who is DSA aligned to explain that. So sorry, we're gonna take over. Democrats are gonna take over, and in theory, progress towards this goal. And we're gonna get Donald Trump thrown in jail for the shit that he has done, including the myriad of sexual assaults, including possibly a 14-year-old girl. So you guys can release him in the name of freedom. Yeah, no jails, no crimes. It's like the Trump version of like the only reason we have all these COVID cases because we keep testing everybody. If we didn't test, we wouldn't have as many cases. It's that same. It's fucking crazy, isn't it? Am I? Because again, it's like I hear people defending the DSA all the time, but what accountability is there for? I mean, Hegseth. I mean, we have war criminals in jail, all incarcerated people, all. The dude who drove his car through a fucking parade, the guy who shot up the Aurora Theater, the woman who like strangled, like she's still on trial. The woman who drowned all of her kids because she wanted to move on with their new boyfriend. The woman with the stack of 8 baby corpses in her garage in Indiana, I think it was. All is a big fucking word, right? All. And again, this isn't like an assertion I'm making or looking something up. They wrote this on their page. And by the way, this would include Ghislaine Maxwell. The freedom for Ghislaine Maxwell. Freedom for the fucking I-5 killer. Right. Name your like Kohlberger, the dude who killed those 4 college students. Right? Like, where? Why? Who the fuck sits in a meeting in a fucking drum circle and thinks typing this out is okay? Like, where is the humanity in any of this? You know what that does? You know what freedom for all incarcerated people does? It puts us all in jail. It means every human being is now in jail. All of us have to spend our time locking ourselves up and locking our doors and being, increasingly we fit into the cell because you'd have to actively fucking protect yourself against the fucking horde of violent criminals that would just be walked out the. What do you talk? What does this mean? Like, it is so nuts. It's almost unbelievable that they typed it. And there's like a woman on Blue Sky who heads this group. And this is a fucking real thing. Like, the freedom for all incarcerated people. So the elimination of the jury system. And really, you do realize that beyond, here's what happens when you do that. We didn't used to have systems to incarcerate people. You know that, right? They didn't used to have prisons a long time ago. They certainly didn't have jails worth of goddamn. You know what they did more commonly in those situations? They fucking killed everybody. They strung them up for cattle rustling and thieving, and they did it themselves. Like, it was fucking horrible. This is the DSA. This is the Democratic Socialists of America. This is part of their political platform. All right. Demilitarize the police and end colonial policing of our cities and neighborhoods. Okay, I don't know what colonial policing of our cities and neighborhoods means. I'm sure it sounds something lovely and academic. But demilitarize the police is like, you're going to militarize vast groups of civilians. Bring hangings back, hold people like accountable. Yeah, Linda. No one gets held accountable when hangings come back. The 70% of the people killed by the guillotine during the French Revolution were poor or physically challenged or petty criminals because the mob got tired of them and just killed them. Hey, while it's up there, that's what happens. Freedom of working class self-organization and democratic political action. We have that already. Just because you don't use something or it's ineffective at times or they don't have follow through or groups get together and break apart or issues change does not mean currently you do not have freedom of working class self-organization. Are they just trying to avoid saying unions? Don't know why you're fighting against Democrats. I'm not fighting against Democrats. These people are not Democrats. They say so. And again, this is not democratic. By the way, they didn't say our goals. They didn't say our representative goals. It's our demands. They're going to demand this at some point. Now, again, I don't know how you demand something unless you are holding someone or something hostage. Who wants to get everyone out of prison? The DSA for some reason. Okay. But congratulations, they got one of their demands already, freedom of working class self-organization and democratic political action. You absolutely have that right. Linda's saying people aren't being fucking accountable. Or you mean held accountable? Well, they certainly won't be if there are no jails or prisons, especially just in time for us to actually do something. Tim Pool would use this on every show. Yeah, absolutely. And say that this is what Democrats want once they get in. Yeah. And then invest in community self-governance and care, not cops, which again sounds like hippie business speak. Invest in community self-governance, which again sounds like, well, we'll just talk everybody down. But if there's somebody on our street we don't like, we'll just burn their house down. That's what that was. Why would you invest if the community can self-govern? Why does it need investment? What are you going to hand out guns? Yeah, the DSA's goal is to eliminate the Democratic Party. They want to get rid of the two-party state as it is with a bunch of different groups because they think they'll be on top. It's kind of like Manson family shit, like the idea that Charles Manson had that he was going to start a race war between blacks and whites, and then the blacks would win because they were stronger, but he was white, so he would run everything. It was like stupid, and he got the idea from the White Album. Jesus Christ, the idea that I'm surrounded on all sides by the stupids. Yeah, they want to bring back the old style hippie communes. I have no problem with that. Can I just say for the record, anybody who's been through Topanga Canyon, to all the folks who want a hippie commune where you deal with your own shit, go for it. That's totally possible. But you know what happens when we have groups like that, by and large? People who don't want to be a part of regular society, want to splinter off and have these like, we'll do it ourselves. They usually, if they disband peacefully, that's the best case scenario, right? That's the best case scenario. But most of the time, they go down like Warren Jeff's club or the Branch Davidians or any of those folks. It turns into like, we're here for peace and love. We're a cult of love. We're just all going to work together and we're all going to grow pineapples or whatever the fuck. And we'll sell those and that's how we'll make it. And then they end up, the leader usually ends up going, by the way, the big glowing rock told me that I get to fuck all your wives and your daughters, preferably the ones under 12. There's and that shit was that's not even new. That's been around for millennia. Good God. It's a cult when you boil down to it. But you'll notice that that's what the Fox people love to run on. That's what and it'll always be the New York City ones, right? They're going to show these folks. They're coming for you, right? Even if by and large, most Democrats have a nice idea of socialism, it's because they view it as social democrat policies, not democratic socialist policies. And you're like, well, 6 of one, half dozen of another. It doesn't mean that much to most people. What I think most of us mean when we think of like social democrat policies is use democracy to prioritize where we spend our tax money and where we don't. And where we should spend our tax money is to promote the general welfare and give everybody an equal chance at the American dream. That seems pretty basic, right? And I think that's how most people see it. It genuinely isn't how the DSA sees it. It really isn't. And there is a difference in their minds. Now, the thing is, none of them are going to be able to accomplish that crazy shit, even if they signed on it now. And some of them are distancing themselves. Even Al Sayed wasn't a DSA member and stiff arms any mention of these things. You know why? Because we have a representative government, and by and large, the large, not only all independents and Republicans, but by and large, most Democrats aren't for turning all the rapists loose out of spite. Right? It's goofy. The weird part is it's in the fucking platform. It's in yeah. So they're going to use this as a whipping point, right? So, who's a capitalist? El Sayed? Yeah. Well, I got news for you. They all are. And again, well, I'll take that back. They all believe in a market-based economy. The word capitalism is a word created by South American socialists as a pejorative for how the economic systems of countries like America ran. And in defense of that, and this happens a lot with people, if the people I don't like pick a word to call me, I'm going to start changing that word into a point of pride. Does that sound familiar? Is it unique to this situation? Perhaps you've heard, we're here, we're queer, get used to it, right? Queer used to be a pejorative and it was claimed, right? Okay, happens all the time. Capitalism started as a pejorative and now it's the word for what they do. It does not describe the system most of us live under in our daily lives or within. It isn't. Almost no one here builds up. You don't buy your house by buying out your neighbor and flattening it and building something like this weird, like robber baron-esque system. right? That's not how you do it. It's that I will trade my valuable time or my valuable skill for compensation, but if I don't want to trade for what you got, I will take cash in its place as a placeholder for what I might want to get with it later. Again, it is way easier to carry a $10 bill in your pocket than a sandwich if you happen to be hungry later or 2 days from now. Yeah. Marxism and Keynesian economics yes, that's the battle. And it's a battle between two giant morons. It's Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, and they're both wrong. And most of us are standing there going, why the fuck are you stomping all over the city? It took us a while to build this up. Right. So, yeah, just goofy bullshit. All this crap is a Jill Stein moment. They're trying to break up the Democrat. Well, yes, that's precisely it. It's where the funding comes from, and it has nothing to do. By the way, none of it is democratic in that regard. It's meant to be a minority punch through. That's the ironic part. Is they want kind of like the Freedom Caucus isn't about freedom. They're not about the Democratic Socialists aren't about democracy. They just aren't. Anti-DSA are okay with fascism. Yes, that's adorable. Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm arguing for. I'm arguing for fascism. By the way, getting in charge and then releasing everyone from jail is a bit fascist, don't you think? Just letting out every rape victim's rapist for real. Like, I didn't make that part up. I'm not exaggerating the point at all. It's as distinctive. I mean, you can give him points for saying it. When Mike Lee says behind closed doors he wants to get rid of Social Security, they deny it out front. It's not on his fucking candidacy page, right? So I guess you get points for saying it right out in the open. But capitalism has failed and because of greed. No, it hasn't. That's like saying because we created the social safety net, we have our economy has failed because most of our money goes to pay off the debt for Social Security. Right? Most of our stuff is, entitlements are half of our stuff. So therefore, those things broke us. That's not how it works at all. And again, this is what happens. Yes, we are a mixed economy. That is exactly right. Here's how it works, folks. Yeah, that is not social democracy. Here's how it works, folks. Some things the public has no interest in, but privately, certain groups might want it or need it. And then later, the public might go, hey, that actually is good, and I would like to participate in it. That's private industry. That's when you make a fucking cell phone or something like that, or the phone itself, and it expands cars, that kind of stuff, expand out into more useful. They get the volume of them goes up, the price of making one goes down. So the effort you extract from another person to get that thing is low enough where it's available to most people to afford with their own labor and their own work. And so you get a situation where cars were something fancy only the rich could have, and then it spread out through everybody else. Phones and all that kind of stuff. Those are all private things. The public takes a long time to buy into or reject them. They go the way of the, I don't know, they either go from dial telegram to dial phone to push button phone to flip phone to smartphone, right? That's how that grows. And the public can either have it or not. You don't need it. It may help you and you may feel like you need it, but you don't. It's a private industry. And then there may be a support structure where like, oh shit, we're at war, therefore it'd be nice if everybody had a phone. Or it's better for our citizenry if everybody could call the police or the hospital if they need them. So maybe there's a reason to break up Ma Bell and make sure that we have phone lines going everywhere, right? And that's where the mix goes from private to public. The public stuff is roads, dams, an electrical grid, a unified system, so that everywhere across the country, if you're driving from Washington, state to Washington D.C., you don't have to drive through the middle of fucking Oklahoma, and everything is dirt roads because they can't afford to pave them. You do a federal system in those circumstances to raise the baseline for the infrastructure so that everybody can share in the value of the country and it's spread evenly up to a certain point. Now, I personally believe that that should extend to things like education, for example. But obviously, that's where the maggots differ with me, right? They think it's all of our responsibility to make sure that every soldier has 500 more rounds than they'll ever need, and I feel that every student should have 500 more school supplies than they'll ever need, right? That I think that balance is off, right? But it's up to me to convince people that that's the way that should be spent, right? That's the public stuff. And the public, once we decide, oh, that's an everybody thing, or we're all going to need it, because again, it took people a lot to buy into the highway system or the train system, right? There was all sorts of, I mean, and they didn't, and some of them didn't like it. Eminent domain. Look at Trump's wall, right? So, okay, the Big Bend. Remember, he was gonna expand the wall across Big Bend National Park, which again, um, let's try to do this. Expansion. Where are you? Go in there. They it's an impassable section of ground and it's beautiful, but nobody is walking into the United States across the border through Big Bend National Park because you'll get lost and die. Like everybody else goes the other way. If there's not a way, it's either find a way through that area. I'm not going that way because there's nowhere. You might as well just be walking out in the middle of the Sahara. You're going to die. So the idea to build a wall there and create infrastructure, make guards stand out there and shit is insane. And it also ruins the ground, and they go through tribal lands and all kinds of shit like that. It's awful, right? So Trump's going to start that because he wants his wall to go, coast to coast. He wants it to go from basically San Diego to fucking, Louisiana, that shit. And who attacked it? Who shut it down? Hunters and conservationists and people in Tennessee, in Texas and other, southern states were like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're fucking this up. What a waste. It looks ugly and it's unnecessary. It's all the things you don't want to waste your tax dollars on. Ugly, unnecessary, and cruel for cruelty's sake. Like, I mean, I wish they would apply that thinking to a lot of other things, but it's nice to see them doing it here. Okay? So, what happened? The National Park border protection thing that he was going to do got paused. Did it get paused because Democrats balked? Nope. It's there. It's a slat fence too. Yeah. But it's because Republicans were like, oh shit, he really is nuts. This really is just an ego project. And he's going to fuck up like the country down here. Like it's ugly. No. Right. Okay. So, this is here. I'll show you this. Where is it? Yeah. So he starts this whole big thing, and it's this big fuck you, and the Sierra Club and other folks, the usual suspects, came out and were against it, and that's fine. But usually they just blow past those things. But they found some strange bedfellows in people who lean or are right wing, who are like, wait a fucking second, why? That's representative government. So. Because that's the area, that's the voter. It's a club, not a gang, right? So here's people standing out there saying no, but it was a lot of people flying the Texas flag. You know what I mean? The usual suspects, people that would show up at Trump's own rallies, were like, nope, right? So, needless to say, there is a. You guys know about my issue with like jargon over people. And the DSA and some of its folks are very, I believe, value jargon more than human beings. They will fight for the word socialism more than they will fight for the programs that help actual people. Because it's a team sport. That's the only way you come up with the sentence, freedom for all incarcerated people. right? Uh, like decriminalization, like I was on the forefront of decriminalization of marijuana, and I don't smoke weed. I'm never going to. I don't do drugs. I don't think that's a good idea, but I also don't think that addicts should be criminalized. So we can, you can meet me there, hopefully, and we can agree on that. I think when you find another way to deal with somebody who's like people who were incarcerated for a bag of weed back in the day, putting two of those guys or gals in jail for a year, you take them out, that's another teacher. That's an entire teacher's salary just keeping them locked up, right? So I think we can all see why um, nonviolent, especially people who are under the influence when they committed a crime, there might be a much better way to rehabilitation and bringing them back into society, right? And that's a conversation that's valuable to have, one would think. Yes. And I think we'd all argue that's in a gray area because somebody's saying, I drove drunk and I crashed my car and I could have killed somebody and I'm never going to drink again and I feel badly about it and I've woken up to that idea. And that person who would be in jail for driving under the influence versus someone like Pete Hegseth, who allegedly sexually assaulted a woman while intoxicated. Are those two guys created equal in the eyes of our own sense of justice in a circumstance? Is there anything that points out that, like, a person who makes a bad judgment that he wouldn't normally make under the influence, like driving, thinking they're capable of driving and they're not, versus someone who would act on these sexual impulses if they weren't intoxicated, if they, and when they were, it was worse, right? We've got to be able to have sensible conversations about that. And yeah, but criminal justice reform sounds so establishment. Yeah, it does. It does. It sounds so, I don't know, boring and normal. This is why this is why the Republicans say deep state instead of bureaucrats, right? This is how they make that case. Oh, there's this spooky person. The deep state is controlling everything. No, there's a law in place, and there are people in positions that have been hired to make sure the law isn't broken in all these places and check budgets and all that kind of stuff. And if you violate it, they're supposed to keep track. They're not the deep state. It's just the infrastructure of a compounding democratic need. So, needless to say, the DSA folks are going to be wrestling with this for a while. And again, there's a lot of people who like the DSA because they think they're SDA. They think they're social democrats. That's why. And here's what I would say to any of those folks. Stop worrying about the languaging of it and tell me what you're actually for. It will clear up a lot of this stuff. There was this time when people were like, the Democrats just need to get better at bumper stickers. And because the Republicans are so good at it as a compassionate conservative or, that kind of shit. And it works with the certain voters. And our answer to it seemed to be to settle in on languaging that was incendiary and then and sit with it, even if it meant the destruction of the fabric of our society. It's goofy. So, no other matter in my life, I'll always be a progressive liberal socialist. It doesn't matter what happens in my life. I will always be a progressive liberal socialist. Well, that's lovely, Christina. I would love to know if you think there is a conflict between any three of those words. Because if you stand for nothing, you will fall for everything. Excuse me, I am standing for something. Not only am I standing doing my show, but I am unequivocally stating my issue with these things, full voiced and comfortable with the criticism that may come my way because I mean what I say and I actually give a shit. And the fallback I find on some folks is that if you don't like the labels they use, or you think they're misused, or you challenge their theories or plans, that you don't care about the same problem. That's the issue I have. How critical thinking is dead. Well, I'm bringing it back. I'm doing CPR on it, goddammit. But no, sometimes, again, socialism at its very base is communal choice for industries, which will be anti-progress if the general public, if they have a say, doesn't sign off on whatever the progress is, right? So you can label yourself all you want, but unless you can convince people, and this is my argument about like Medicare for all. The minute Medicare for all became, or even Obamacare became a pejorative on the right, it became the job of everyone who believes in it to explain the mechanic to those people. Stop using the phrase, but it'd be better. I know that. You know that. They don't know that. And every time you say it, it's a trigger word for them. It's like calling out the fact that most of the socialists in this country, or people who call themselves socialists, aren't actually socialists. And the ones that are often have some lunatic beliefs that somehow surprise you, like letting every rapist out of jail. Right? There you go. So it is, yeah, universal healthcare is a great way to do it. But again, 56 Nick Rich, excellent point. But universal's healthcare is immediately followed by how? How? Now, I think you shift a big chunk of the military budget specifically, and this would be the defund the police version of this in most people's thinking of it. But insofar as science and exploration, there's a direct one-to-one in military spending, where you have a higher chance of being killed by an infectious disease than you do a terrorist from another country, especially, and that number grows, in direct opposition to the more dedicated your country is to advancing medical science. So the more you put into it, the more people would go, well, fuck, we can't bomb them or blow them up or kill their people. They're coming up with the cancer vaccine, right? That's what you call soft power. That's the valuable part. That makes the good argument for your society. That's the kind of thing that spreads democracy and freedom and all that kind of stuff for real, instead of at the barrel of a gun. So my argument would be is that your priorities matter. And what your priorities are, is democratic taxation. You're going to, wherever you get the taxes, whether you get them from everybody equally or you get them from the rich people, whatever you do with those taxes, we've all got to agree on what we're going to spend them on, because it is a limited resource. So what are you going to spend them on? That's the democracy part. The problem is, if you haven't convinced everybody of your solution, they're not going to agree. Okay? They're not, unless you can convince them that a single payer system or a Medicare for all system will function and protect them, they're going to stick with the devil they know. And yelling at them won't change their mind. And the more you use the label or the jargon as your placeholder for your argument, the further they get away from it, because they'll yell communism and go away. And that's exactly what's happened. Yeah. The how is our responsibility. There was somebody on Blue Sky, there was a little bit of a pissing match. I brought up a little thing. I was being kind of facetious, actually. I posted a thing on Blue Sky about, like, hey, AI companies, here's a good idea. Why not use your super smart AI model to come up with a way to operate more efficiently? Use your model. If it's so goddamn smart, impress us all. Ask it how it could do more with less, use less energy, use less water. And if it's so smart, it should kind of be able to figure it out, right? Can you talk about why Jeffries won't support Medicare for all? Because his constituents don't, and the majority of the people around the country don't, when it boils down to it, because it eliminates insurance entirely once you get to it, and that's why. So, ACA doctor could have become Medicare for all. No, it could have been ACA could have been single payer, but it would have to grow into that, and it got attacked more from the left than it did from the right. But anyway, so this person was talking like at one point said something about like, why don't you ask it about a 4-hour work week and why a living wage would be better for corporate, productivity or something. And my response was, why do you think it would believe you? Why do you think it would agree with that? And the person's fallback was like, because children are, study better at school when they're not hungry. And I'm like, well, that we're not. I didn't realize we're talking about a 4-day work week at school. Anyways, it was very weird, like the back and forth. But the fallback was within two. I literally was just like, because it was based on this kind of AI thing. Like, if you're going to ask an AI, what evidence are you going to give? What data are you going to input to get an output that you'll like? And the response was, and you hear this a lot on our side, okay? Hal, stop supporting corporate Dems. No, you're a silly person. They're not corporate Dems. They're the people that are getting elected in their district. Stop writing it off. Again, corporate Dem is a hashtag. It's meant as a divisive pejorative. It's silly. It's TYT bullshit. Fuck that. So the fallback was, I don't have to do your work for you. Go Google my argument. Go look it up. And because I asked for a link, because they referenced a study that they were talking about, I was like, which I would love to read. I would like, please provide a link if you have one. And the screed that came back was like, first of all, try living blah blah blah, and then go suck your own dick, you bastard. Like that. It got rude. It escalated quickly. And it was a genuine ask on my part, because I was like, I would like to see that part, right? I would like to see that argument. I would like to see whatever paper you're citing or whatever source. I'm not picking a fight. I genuinely wanted to read it. And it got so hostile so fast that I was like, I don't believe for a second this person actually gives a fuck about what their argument. I think they're just using self-righteous indignation as an excuse to be mean to strangers, because that's their knee-jerk reaction. It's a power play. And the idea that there aren't people out there like that, and that we've all got to fucking walk around naively pretending that, that everybody's on their best behavior and everybody means well just because they're wearing the right t-shirt is fucked up. It's as dumb as everybody putting on our own version of a MAGA hat. It doesn't work. Prove, gimme, prove. I don't know what that means, Christina. So let's see. Let's try that. Is it? I'm back up here. It's okay. Let's all right. Here we go. It scrolled past on here, and then it's a little slower on here. There was one that came by, and I wanted to answer it. There's a lot in the chat, obviously, right now, and this lights people up, and I'm glad. Okay. Yeah, the division language in the Democratic Party and stuff is basically just right wingers spackling over the real damage Trump has done to his own bullshit. And again, TYT talks this way all the time. Yes, they absolutely took corporate money. Yes, they started out with a $25 million infusion. They have a deal with Google on YouTube. Come on. The purpose of this should be, and again, I think we should weight the values in the Constitution towards the general welfare. Common defense, very important, but general welfare is right there, right in there with it. Same language, right? And the general welfare means, a baseline that everybody can expect. That would be public schools, and public roads, and an electrical grid you can trust, and things like FEMA. So everybody, depending on, doesn't depend on where you live necessarily. If you're in an emergency, we have the means and wherewithal to come after you. And I would come and help you. And I would argue that this also applies to healthcare. If you can have public schools and you can have private schools, if you can have police and firefighters and you can have your own, security detail if you can afford it, and you can, and God knows your own sprinkler system in your house, then why can't you have a public option for your insurance, which is can be weighted against the taxes you pay, and then free for certain people below a line, right? With a like, so that you're not overburdening the cost to everybody else that has a view that if you move up in your income, you're not automatically knocked off like some welfare systems work, that there's not a cutoff line, that it's gradual, and people can transition out of being on welfare instead of like, oh shit, if I step past this line, I'm fucked, right? So that's what I believe. That's where I want it to go. And I believe in incremental change. And the reason I believe in incremental change is because it's the only kind that sticks. It is the only kind, but for, 2 or 3 rare instances in history, one of them that required 2 nuclear bombs, where a society makes a lasting change. And if you're going to do it without bloodshed, which would be preferred, I would think, it's not lost on me that the same people that are saying, abolish prisons and defund the police are also the same people who always bring up the guillotine online at the same time. And again, the reason I'm against what Luigi Mangione did, is because I'm anti-death penalty, especially when it comes without a trial. Period. I'm against the death penalty. That period. And anybody who's for him can't ever argue with me that they're against the death penalty. Just not. That falls apart instantly. So, what I think our focus should be, as a Democrat, should be providing for the general welfare, that the common good entails 2 lanes. One, a common infrastructure and a common support system that everyone can rely on, that they don't have to fall below. And a graded system instead of a cutoff if people find themselves below it and they're trying to work above it. Okay. And then the other part of it is the freedom to live your life without government intervention, as long as you harm no one. Right. And that's the basis of the Enlightenment. That's the root of where the country was built. That's why they set up a federalist system under, the best system they could set up at the time. That's what states' rights was initially about. So you could get government as close to the people as you possibly could. But it has to have a functioning structure, or the worst fucking people in the world will take it over. That's just the truth. And anybody who tells you they want revolution believes they will have the most guns or the biggest hammers or control of the guillotine. And if you don't believe me, look at how they fucking talk online. They're always convinced that they'll be on the right. They'll be the one pulling the rope on the guillotine, dropping it. They always do. In the same way that the right wingers think that, we know what, fuck this. We just need to go back to Wild West. Everybody carry a gun. Because, and by the way, that's where the DSA and the maggots overlap the most. Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, sorry. That's this guy. I think it's. Hold on. Is this the light? Is this? Oh, it's a light pop. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Hold on. There. Fixed. Hold on. It's gonna drive me crazy. Did that work? Did that get it? Yeah, it did. Thanks, CSL. We just build this race car as we drive. That's how this works. And yeah, compassionate is not a revolutionary word at all. Never is. You say you want a revolution. Well, You're gonna have to kill some poors. 70% of the people that were killed with the guillotine were poor. They were poor. Once you run out of royals, it's really hard to stop. We won't need a prison if we just kill these motherfuckers. You can bring back lynchings and all that shit. Is that the plan? Wow. Honest to God, this is and again, most of the things folks are suggesting these days, especially as solutions, are part of an anti-complexity panic. Things are getting too complicated. We just need to go back to simpler stuff. We're just fucking get them out, kill them. I don't know, drag them out in the streets. Let the streets run red with their communist bloods, dude. Blah blah blah. All that shit. Kick out the foreigners. It's the same shit. And at its root, it is unhuman. We are. This is exactly why when the ACA came out and everybody's like, it's got 3,000 pages. 3,000 goddamn pages, right? There's so much in this. Never mind the fact the big BS bill had 10,000 pages, some shit. They didn't bleed a word. But in a country of this size, and the myriad of diseases, maladies, birth defects, I don't know, engines of decay that happen to the human body, you're going to need a lot of variability. You're going to need a complex health law. You're going to need it to, like, oh, if shit, we forgot about that too. That's how these things happen. And one of the reasons why our laws and regulations get bloated over time is because they need to be. The more free a people is, the more finely tuned your laws and your regulations have to be. Period. If it's a king and it's a bunch of fucking plebes, thou shalt not kill. And if I want to disregard it, fuck you. And if you guys do it and you kill the wrong person, I'll just say that's the law and duh, right? Hold on. But they are hanging people right now in the USA that is effing sick, just like the concentration camps. Okay, first of all, not just like the concentration camps. You guys go look up where Spandau Ballet got their name. No, it's not the same. It is not the same. And also, it matters who's in charge. This goes to my whole point of, do you think if Harris was here, it was the president of the United States, any of this shit would be going on? You think the prices would be up because of some dipshit's tariff war? You think we'd be in Iran? You think we'd have bombed a children's school? Every one of those, to all the people who were like, Harris is a corporate dem and I don't like me some Biden, so I'm staying home. Fuck it. If Trump wins, he wins. 170 dead kids would disagree in Iran, right? Wouldn't have happened. Period. No fucking way. There just is not a situation like that. And we went through this last time with the people like, I'm not going. I'm going to leave. I don't like Hillary. She's a neocon. So I'm going to leave President blank. I'll vote for other people, but I'm not going to vote for president. And if Donald Trump gets in, the United States deserves it. Well, guess what? The United States doesn't feel the impact of the damage Donald Trump did. People do. Human beings do. Through his constant undermining of the social safety net, his mistreatment of immigrants, his elimination of women's rights, people do. When Hassan Piker said America deserved 9/11 like the piece of shit that he is, I got news for you. America, especially the one he hates, corporate America, billionaires and all that stuff, Howard Lutnick made money because of 9/11. He got a big insurance payoff and he fucking kept it. And now he works in the White House. Do you understand? Good Lord. 3,000 people lost their lives on that day. Cops got, lung diseases and died painful deaths because of it. America didn't. America's still here. And it's going to keep going. I got news for you. The Republicans are going to try, and we're going to right this ship. There's going to be a back and forth, and the ping pong of democracy will go on and on. For real. It is. But this unnecessary pain of fuck it, if I don't get everything, nobody gets anything, leaving us up to the whims of the id of a bunch of fucking Epstein assholes, like it's a coin toss. And again, this is why I always bring it back to, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you are confronted with a choice that you believe is the lesser of two evils, choose less evil. And if you don't choose, and you go, I'm writing in Mickey Mouse or fucking Jill Stein or whatever, or blah, blah, blah. If you don't choose to reinforce the better of the two, you are choosing, you are abdicating to the worse evil. You are saying that bigger evil is okay with me. Sorry. It's just Hal vote shaming again. You're fucking A right I am. So, and again, I have no fear of the DSA candidates, honest to God. Because as they get in and as they start working with what's possible in the world, they may bring us closer, possibly, to a more just idea, because their own ideas will be mitigated by reality and what they can accomplish. But and they're not going to go all the way down the road any more than maggots would. Vote shaming makes people not vote. No, it doesn't. Laziness and privilege makes people not vote. Like if you can be, if your response to abdicating your right to vote and allowing someone like Donald Trump in and seeing what he did means you're not going to vote again. First of all, I don't know how you think you have a say in what's going on, because it's just impotent rage at this point. And I got news for you. Impotent rage in and of itself is privileged. Has Hal done the Dimpool debate? Because yeah, we did a piece of it. Here's what I would say. You're okay if the things you say matter to you actually matter enough to you to keep at it. Otherwise, it's a fucking fad. That's how the hippies became the yuppies. And that's what happened. I mean, we watched it happen. The hippies became the yuppies. And that's when your belief system is a fad or is a social construct instead of an ethic, you're not going to stick with it. Certainly not long enough to make it happen. Other than that, I have no opinion. Okay, I've got to get on with the show. Like, this gets me riled up, obviously, because I actually want the best for people. I know it's sort of old-fashioned, isn't it? And I also know and believe that I'm not the first. I'm not the first person to think that we should help other people, and in a way that doesn't like overthrow them or something. How and the teenagers became adults. That's absolutely true. Age of maturity and all kinds of stuff. So so this is, do you want to be VP? No, I want to be president. I'm running, goddammit. All right. So, and that's why I actually wrote up an economic policy that no one will read. It's on my Substack. It's called Sparksism, and it's not an opinion. It's not an economic theory any more than it's a description of the fact that the Earth is round. And just do me a favor. In the interim, if you only have two choices and one of them's going to be in there, choose less evil. Just do it. Like if you really care about the issues that you want, at least let people survive while you convince everyone else. And if you're in a situation where your group has demands, stop calling yourself Democratic. Lead singer syndrome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's good. All right. Now, let's hold on one second. Let me try this guy. Yeah. So Trump went out. This is the current state of affairs. This is what we've come to. Donald Trump is standing outside. It says delivers remarks. This is 36 minutes long. This little video of him,
we're doing
wandering around the fucking grounds. He also did something today with the crypto guys. This is 39 minutes long. But at this one, he speaks about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. He does one remarks and then a couple of questions at the end. And most of it's the same blather, $19 trillion and more than anybody and yada, yada, yada. But he speaks more at this impromptu, like dicking around. And this is, by the way, for the record, he's got like 4 hours where he's lucid a day. They gack him up on Adderall and turn him loose. And a lot of times they're just like, get him out and walking around because he's sitting too much and his ass is falling apart and he's shitting himself and all these other things. So, and he's got to move his leg or it's going to fall apart. So get him out there. And he likes talking about rock and painting and shit like that. Just let him go outside. And that's what they did.
Fix up of the White House. It hasn't been touched. It was built in 1792, and basically since that time, nothing was done, especially to the
also, nothing was done. It's just stupid. I mean, Truman basically changed the entire underside of it. He wants to do the same thing Truman did. Like nothing was done.
Interiors, but interiors also. The floors were in bad shape. They had Home Depot tiles that were very broken and very inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
In areas where you see the white marble, I think everybody sees the marble. And we have to bring the White House up to, like I'm fixing the country, we're fixing the White House too.
Oh yeah? So you're fixing the country, are you? Yeah, that's what this is. You're fixing it. So you're just making it into a private club.
It's the people's house. One of the things we're doing is this.
That the people are not welcome in, by the way. One of the things we're doing here is a bigger wall.
Always asphalt, which is very basic, not appropriate for a great house, great place like the White House, which is to be now again one of the most beautiful buildings anywhere in the world. As you know,
yes, the driveway since 17 something was always asphalt.
Stripped the paint off.
It was gravel for part of the time. It was dirt before that.
Many years of paint, and we stripped it and we brought it down to its natural. We're doing the same thing on the other side. It's in the process. If you want, you could go over and look at it, but I think you see it. But we stripped it. We got rid of the asphalt here, and this is granite. And if you notice, it's radial.
California granite, by the way.
Radial meaning it's cut about 2 degrees. Every stone is 2 degrees rounded. So that instead of putting straight pieces down, we have the stone is absolutely perfectly rounded. If you look at it, it's sort of amazing because you can.
You mean it curves where the road is? So you didn't make a big square road?
Barely see it, but it's just a slight radial cut, and it's a perfect job. It's a white granite.
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with that color. I don't know. It's certainly not eggshell. It's got a bluish hue to it. I don't know.
It's called the flawless granite.
Is it? But is it though?
We get the best stuff.
Yes, flawless granite from California.
The thing I know how to do is build.
That's not building. That's just putting stone down.
And so we put a brand new face on the front of the White House on the ground. The cars will pull up.
On this granite, great. How is it when it rains? Just gonna go with asphalt grip versus slick granite. How's that? All right.
This is what you'd have.
Let me guess. You're gonna have to put little fucking rugs down when people get out of their cars so they don't slip and kill themselves.
As opposed to the asphalt, which was literally, they had potholes in it. It's ridiculous the way this place was taken care of. Nobody,
By the way, asphalt it develops potholes over time. You fix them. You patch them. You were ignoring them.
including other presidents, they didn't see it. But I see it because I was very good at real estate, like maybe the best in a lot of ways.
Nope, not at all. Literally lost more in New York real estate on the day that Art of the Deal came out than any other person in history. He's a second generation rich kid. The lesson of this is not don't let billionaires in the White House. It's that don't let second generation rich kids born with a silver spoon up their ass run things. They don't know what they're doing. And they will do a lot of performative bullshit to make you think they do.
I love construction. I love seeing things properly taken care of. As you know, we've redone the colonnade, going to the Oval Office. We put the black granite down, and now we're out here. So for 50 years, more than that, they wanted to have a heliport, but nobody knew how to go about it.
Yes, nobody knew how. For 50 years, no one's known how to do a heliport. Well, that 50 years was back in the 1700s, and they didn't have helicopters back then. So, back, it was in the original design, one day.
And we are building a great heliport. It's donated by
It's also not a heliport, it's a landing pad.
Sikorsky, by the helicopter company.
No shit.
Because we have helicopters that can't even land here.
They land all the time. You get in them all the time. People walk to them all the time. They land there. They've always landed there. You've been in them. You've taken off from them. In them. What do you mean they can't?
They have brand new helicopters that were bought a long time ago, manufactured and
brand new that were bought a long time ago.
Recently arrived. And they couldn't land on the grass because the power is so great of the engines that the grass would get ripped up. They tried.
Well, apparently it's not. Then it's not the problem with the helicopter. It's the grass. Maybe it's just the size of the military helicopters needed to lift your fat ass off the ground.
And the grass was literally scattered all over the place.
Literally wasn't.
And I don't mean it was burned a little bit on top. I mean it was dirt. And the grass was all over the place. So they've been trying to build.
Finally, someone is handling it. We've got to keep this grass where we can see it. Can't let it get out of hand. Crazy. It's like a caravan of grass.
A heliport, meaning a pad.
Nope, not meaning a pad. A heliport is not a pad.
For more than 50 years. And we had it designed. Again, we had it. It was.
Oh, by the way, he apparently the ground is not because of the horizon. The heliport was not level with the horizon, and he didn't like the way it looked. So they tilted it so that it was level with the land and the horizon because it looked crooked. Even though it was flat, it was absolutely flat. He wanted it tilted slightly so it looks flat. And if that doesn't sum up this asshole's design and construction ethic, I don't know what does. I know it's stable and flat like it's supposed to be, but I want it to look stable and flat instead of be stable and flat. So make it unstable and not flat.
Paid for by the company that manufactures the helicopters. We didn't pay any money for it. This is different. This is the.
What are you talking about? They have a government contract. I think they have a word for this. It's a kick front. No, it's not a kick front. It's when the back. If you can, I'll forget. Somebody will know.
The road for the White House, and that was done through donations, including donations from me.
Including donations from me. I gave my my salary to make the front marble. Because I've made $2.4 billion grifting off my dumbass supporters, so I don't need this pittance of a salary. The Qataris gave me a fucking plane.
And you can see the kind of granite this is. This Granite has a million-year life. It's a very strong stone. It will never.
Great. Oh, what was here when the humans lived on the planet? There was a White House here that was the seat of democracy for several what they called years. And the only thing that's left is this chunk of granite. It's from California, which I hear was very nice. Who put it there? I don't know.
Break. It will never leak. It will never do anything. This is the highest quality
Unlike his diaper.
stone you can get, and especially for something like this, it's rated a million-year plus. That means it has a million-year life. Can you
Oh, that's what. So it'll be alive in a million years. So it's sleeping.
imagine that?
Yes, I can imagine that stone lasts a million years. Yeah, yeah. I mean, judging from the age of the Earth and how much of it is made of stone, and how those, especially the bigger rocks, boy, they're resilient. They stick around. So you sure you don't want to make it out of tree?
It's 35,000 pounds per square inch. If you look at hard concrete is 5,000 pounds.
That's the pressure it can take.
This is 35,000. So nature is stronger than what the human can produce. It's
Boy, this asshole's in for a surprise if he tries to swim against an undertow or visit a volcano too closely. You don't say. What? Look, we should just be lucky he didn't make it. Try to make it. I tried gold, but it was too soft and it gets hot, sticks to people's tires, and they drive away with $1,000 stuck to their wheels. Bullshit. I was going to use man-made diamonds, but I wanted to say that whole thing about nature. So
really pretty amazing. It comes from California, from a quarry in California, and it's a very special stone.
it's very special. It's hippie stone. We call it hippie stone.
This is also used. This carries
It's all, yeah, it's all, if you listen quietly, if you hold your ear up to it, you can hear Jefferson Airplane.
on out into the helipad. The pad is out there now. It's very close to being finished. The hard work is done. The beautiful work is finished. They're putting the granite top on. And the granite top says,
The beautiful work is done?
the seal of the United States of America.
No, that's actually not what it says. It says the seal of the President of the United States of America, I think is what he's... But yes, it's commie stone from California. Yeah. And I'm fairly certain, and I'll have to check, but I'm fairly certain that stone is gay. And that contributes to its million-year plus life expectancy or whatever. It's just, it's just happier, and more open and realistic about its expectations and stuff like that. So it tends to extend your life. You're not all stressed out. So yeah. So he did gay California commie stone in the front. So yeah, it really
It's the
helps.
exact term. If you look at the seals of the
Yeah, I'm familiar.
presidents, the seal of the President
Oh yeah, you left the president part out.
of the United States of America, meaning the president is in the White House.
Ah, I see. Does it turn off when the president isn't at home, like a Ring doorbell that tells you to go fuck off? Does it blink? If you land, does it go click? And then you get an app that triggers. The president is somewhere. There's a delivery. Amazon's dropped something on the helipad, meaning the president's in the White House. Oh, as opposed to
Of the United States of America, meaning the president is in the White House. This is for many presidents. This isn't for me. This is for many presidents. They will have it for a long time. The other thing we could do, if you notice, we took it up.
Yeah, he's cranking monuments. This is a man who is by the way, monuments are Donald Trump's copium against his own mortality. Donald Trump has gotten clearly some very bad news from his doctors. This is clear. Whether they've told him directly and honestly, or whether he can read it in their faces when they tell him, yeah, you're doing great. and he knows they're bullshitting him, something like that. His copium about approaching the age his father was when he started mentally decaying and then ultimately dying, or as an old man seeing his, compatriots pass away like Lindsey Graham. The way he is coping with it is, I'll just put my name on everything. I'll just, create monuments to myself. None of them are going to last or matter, by the way. If he builds a helipad with a seal on it, nobody's going to give a shit. It'll become like a running gag or whatever. His name's going to get stripped off the Kennedy Center. Even if they take their sweet time doing it, it's going to happen. There's not going to be a publicly sourced monument to him like George Washington or Lincoln or Jefferson. It's just not going to fucking happen. They're going to name a road after him in, outside of West Palm Beach, or some, asshole stretch of highway in Texas. And that's it. There'll be these Trump class frigates in the Navy because he bought a bunch of them. Not because they designed it or they became necessary or they were functional in his war against Iran, but because he ordered a bunch of them, in the 47 airplane, right? The F-47, shit like that. It won't matter. It'll all get scrubbed. It's all gonna get scrubbed. For real. And so they're allowing him to play with this shit and build the ballroom, which again, I gotta tell you, looks like a hospital to me. It looks like the ballroom was a second thought, and the fact is he wants a basement so nobody can see him in the last 6 months of his presidency being in a hospital bed almost every day.
And we did one aspect because we had a lot of slope on it, and I felt it was too much slope. It's a slope for the rain, but I felt it was too much slope. So rather than doing it...
This is a lie. He literally complained that it looked cattywampus from the horizon.
And not really having it the way it should be, because that will be used for other things, greeting visitors and lots of other things when helicopters aren't landing. It's now dead flat. We actually put a 1/2 of 1 degree slope so the rain gets off, but I didn't want to have the slope that they had. They had a slope that would have been like for a waterfall, not for rain.
Sorry, you're trying to tell me they built the helipad like this, or I guess like this, like a waterfall.
And so we before.
Yeah, nobody did that, by the way. No, fuck you. Stop. Look, I know this is all nuts, but no, they did not. They did not build a potential waterfall off on the slope of so that rain coming off the helicopter when it lands would fall on a helipad. It was flat, you dumb motherfucker. Like, it's so weird. No. Like, that in of itself, like, we're so used to him exaggerating everything that we just kind of blitz past the simpler, dumber things he says.
We put the letters down, we lifted it, and made it dead flat. Sort of reminded me of the Woolman Rink in Central Park. So it starts here, and this goes into the entrance of the White House, and this is pure...
Yeah, they know where they are.
White granite, very high quality, and the highest quality. And again, when you hear that...
Gay California commie granite. Works every time. There is no better.
35,000 pounds per square inch. That's really powerful stone. That stone that if you took a hammer...
And by the way, it doesn't weigh 35,000 pounds per square inch. That's the way he's saying it. What he means is it's rated for impact at 35,000 pounds per square inch. And it's so, like, he doesn't get around to saying this until now. But you could tell he still doesn't fucking know. And also, what kind of an asshole compares concrete to granite ever?
And you started hammering right now. All day long, you would not see where you hammered. I don't care how strong you are.
Great. Awesome. You do realize they'd stop you pretty early just because you'd be nuts.
You wouldn't see a mark on it, literally. That's the...
Yeah, because probably if someone would attack you, I think the Secret Service would probably jump you for attacking the driveway.
What kind of power it is.
The Donald Trump Memorial Drive Patch.
It's the kind of thing that should have been done. It's also 4 inches thick. Normally you'd get 1 inch or 1.5 inches. It's 4 inches.
I would be. Yeah, normally I would. Why? Because it's a countertop? Ah, fuck me. Normally you only get it about that thick because it's used in a lot of like McMansions for kitchen counters.
I think it makes it much more powerful.
Yes, I'm guessing stone that's thicker is stronger than stone that isn't.
Because it's the White House. And this comes through contributions, donations from numerous people, including me. And now we're going to walk over and we're going to see this goes equidistant on the other side.
Yeah, it's so you didn't make it just off by a couple inches just to fuck with people. Isn't that no? Shh.
Right over there, if you notice, is where the ballroom and military complex will be.
The ballroom and military complex. You mean the hospital bed? You mean the fucking the oxygen chamber?
And the military complex is going to have a drone-proof roof.
That launches drones. It'll be both. It's like a condom that ejaculates.
And you're going to have, on top of the roof, you're going to have drones, mini drones, which will protect Washington, D.C., and will protect the White House.
What kind of drones are we talking about, by the way? Is it going to be a swarm of, like, quadcopters? Or are you going to launch a bunch of Reapers off of fucking catapult? What the hell? We're not going to need police in D.C. Congratulations, DSA. We're gonna defund the police in Washington, D.C., and drones will police everyone with syringes full of THC.
So
anybody committing a crime like that, whoa, all right.
Let's take a look at the helipad, and we'll walk together if you'd like. The cutouts here are meant for stanchions. It's stainless steel. So they take that piece up, and they put a stanchion.
Yeah, so you can put a tent when it's raining because granite is slippery. It's a hole. Yeah, we know. We know how granite, like rock patios work.
Right here, there's a lot of
drone shows for Jesus. Yeah, it just launches like around Christmas and stuff. They put a big burning cross in the sky.
People, they have events, and over the years, they've just put stanchions here. They never had any place to put it. And so what you do is you take that in and you put a stainless steel pole and you have a stanchion. You have a rope.
Yeah, we're all familiar. Most of anybody who has sort of like a yard gate with one of those things that goes down in the ground, we're familiar. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Like, thank God we have a builder.
Or whatever you might call it.
Whatever.
And we
whatever I might call it. A fuck up. You know what I might call it? I might call it the Epstein files. You got a bunch of those Epstein holes in the ground on the Epstein granite next to the Epstein files helipad, where all the obviously the granite is there because you hid the Epstein files, buried them under that, so they have to tear that up to get to them, right? Until we get, of course, a smart president like myself who will slant drill into it. And you won't have to tear it up at all. You just kind of slant drill in there and get all the stuff out and leave it.
The exact
fill it in with liquid granite.
Location where they've had it, but they were never able to do much with it because they weren't able to secure it.
Yeah, they use sandbags and...
We put the stainless steel pieces in. They take it off. They put in a stainless steel rod, and they put...
Yeah, this guy would be so much fun to go camping with.
The rope.
And I gotta say, I'm gonna blame past presidents for, not doing some of the normal work because they felt like it was, like an act of ego or something. Because if you don't do it, some dickhead like this, when he gets in there, is gonna fucking piss in every corner.
I think before we go in, you might take a look at the facade.
Nice.
Of the White House.
Yes, the facade of the White House. If Joe Biden said that, QAnon would go, I knew it. He's not even president.
The facade was in very bad shape. It had never been touched before, other than some paint slopped on it.
Slopped on it. Fuck you.
And we took it down to the basic. We took it down to the base. And again, we're talking about 1792. Much of this is up from 1792. There haven't been that many additions.
I would hope not.
And we
also, by the way, the facade was, well, here, shit. Let me, let's see. Just in case you don't know, Trump wants to tell you that nobody really did anything since the 1700s. Remember that? Like that's his big one. Nobody's done anything. It's basically the same. It's been the whole fucking time. Well, let me show you an interior shot of the White House from the 1950s. That was done during Truman. This is the inside of the White House during the Truman administration. When they started building the Cold War bunker that's underneath it, you kind of can't do that, and still live in the joint. So again, the idea that he's like, nobody's even touched the fucking place. It's just so lame. Like, even if you said since the 50s, yeah, they rebuilt the entire thing. Like, they kept some of the exterior, that was the point. But they're like, that's the inside of the fucking White House. For fuck's sake. Yeah. Oh shit, that's a ton of work. You goddamn right it is. There's the let's see. It should be in like other pictures of it. Fuck it, hold on. I'll hold on. Let me. There's they called it the White House renovation. It was that was the New Yorker. Here we go. White House reconstruction. Yeah, here's. Let me show you this. This fucking look at the trucks. There's trucks driving around inside the White House. Look at this. The fucking bulldozer. Nobody's done anything since 17. Shut the fuck up. That is an inside shot of the White House in, I think, 1949. That's basically the same. They didn't bother to, it just hasn't, no one's touched it since 1772 or whatever the fuck, 1778, whatever he's saying. Yeah. It's just so fucking dumb. And look, I understand. The ship has sailed. What's happening, Boston Brian? Good to see you. The ship has sailed on what maggots just will let slide as far as him just bullshitting. They almost enjoy it, I think. At this point, you'd have to. You'd have to have like, it's like sadomasochism. Like it's like his lies to them are like a naughty spanking they like to take. Like, thank you, sir, may I have another? Because you have to enjoy him putting one over on you or just playing along with his delusions for this. That's the fucking White House. Yes, he lived in Blair House. That's exactly right. Truman was living in another building, obviously, during this. The whole fucking inside was scooped out. They built the bunker that bunker bitch Donald Trump went to hide in was dug in the 50s because of the possibility of nuclear war. Dummy. Mr. fucking drone roof. Ugh. Lord almighty. And I don't like, these assholes need to try harder. Nobody's really done anything.
If you take a look at the stone, look how perfect the stone is.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah.
If you would have looked at it, if you noticed, some people notice, I noticed it every time I walked in. I noticed it 15 years ago when I came to the White House. I said,
I went to the Louvre and there was like a statue with arms missing, and they apparently found it that way. And I was like, it always bothered me. So we put cardboard arms on it. So much better now. A lot of the, like Michelangelo's David had his dick knocked off. So we replaced it with a big gelatinous dildo. So much better. And it's got a stanchion where you can stick a steel pole in there.
boy, the face of the building is in very, very bad shape. Big
Well, sometimes a house reflects the health of its inhabitants.
chips out of it, broken stone. It was in very bad shape, and you can see it now. That's just a temporary cover for shade for the workers because it's so hot.
It is. We just decided to do this after July 4th, but when it gets hot. Like this asshole couldn't do some of this work in the fall. Fuck him.
But the canopy will go back on. So you look at the stone, look at the columns, how perfect they are. They were so bad that when you looked up, you'd say, boy, those things are in bad shape. They had literally chunks of stone out of them.
Right, because they were reflective of the time, and that was their natural state. They were a testament to how long they had been there.
And now they're really in flawless condition. So it's very good. Very proud to do it. Enjoy it, and very proud to do it. Again, you have the facade, and this goes down here. The facade of the building connects in here, and the helipad, I think you'll be very excited to see. It's really
Oh, I am. Oh yeah, I'm jazzed. Let me guess. Round, gaudy.
something very, very special. Come on over here. It's a path leading.
Oh, there's a path to it. A path. And we want another shrubbery.
The same exact granite, very strong granite. You'll never see a crack in this granite. Well,
Oh, don't test people.
I'll go on the line. So in 10 years, if you see a crack, you'll say, well, Trump just said you'll never see a crack. You'll never see a crack on this granite. This is very...
Jump up and down. Show him how tough it is, you fat bastard. Like you could tell he was like gonna try to stomp to show him, but his right leg doesn't work very well. So it's just.
I guess
Look.
nothing's indestructible, but it's pretty close. It's really high quality. Again, this was all black asphalt that was in terrible shape. And asphalt only lasts for a season. It doesn't last very long.
A season. Yeah, it doesn't last as long as the grass. That's the problem. Like, when did we buy asphalt? Did it go bad? How do you know if asphalt's good? I hear you. If you take a chunk of asphalt and you put it in a bowl of water, if it floats, it's gone bad.
Especially when it gets this kind of use. And so it would
Yeah, huge traffic in front of the fucking White House. It's a regular fucking I-45.
have literally potholes and cracks all over.
It's asphalt, dickhead.
Not appropriate for the White House.
Well, then why'd you stop there? Why is it only in front of the place? Why is the rest of it asphalt then, you shithead? You cheap bastard? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna grant it all the way to the fucking gates. Fuck those people. This is just for when Xi Jinping comes to visit. Which it really is. That's what he's talking about.
Wait, Wrangler, back up.
Oh my god, this Three Stooges horseshit.
Come on over here. So, it's all brand new grass.
Thank God. I was like, what? Why are you still using that old grass, man?
Grass was in terrible shape. And we have a great man that works here for 54 years, Dale. And he said, it would be nice to be able to change the grass. Grass has a life like humans have a life. And this
No, not really. No. As a matter of fact, it shortens people's lives a lot quicker if a bunch of people walk over them.
is all going to be right now. It's put in.
Grass is pretty fucking resilient. It's actually, borderline an invasive species.
You come back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, It's in shock. But you come back in 2 or 3 weeks. This has all been redone. It's all been topsoiled. In other words, we put topsoil, brand new.
Oh, that's what topsoiling means? I didn't realize. You put soil on top before you put the grass in? Is that it?
Earth on top. Very, very, lot of good ingredients in that earth for grass.
Oh yeah, a lot of there's dirt, there's nitrogen, some worms, obviously Lilliputians, perhaps the kids that were shrunk, the guy told his honey about.
If you're grass, you're very happy.
If you're grass, you're you said what?
Lot of good ingredients in that earth for grass. If you're grass, you're very happy.
That's right. If you're grass, you're very happy. He won big with the grass during the last election. Grass voted for him in numbers like nobody's ever seen before. If you're grass, you're happy, motherfucker.
And this grass.
If you're grass, you're happy. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let that go either. If Joe Biden said, if you're grass, you're happy, talking about the White House lawn. All right.
This will look so beautiful. If you remember, it had big sunken areas in here. And
yeah, that's the problem about ground. You know what I mean? It's frustratingly uneven. That's what we need to do. Flatten the earth. Sick all these bumps and everything. Maybe we should get a giant iron.
It was pretty bad. It was in bad shape. But this grass is the highest quality. It was given free of charge by Scott's Miracle Grow.
And all it took was an ad like that.
And Scott's is a great company. They actually contributed to my campaign, I must be honest.
They gave you some free grass? You don't say. That line sounds very different in a Cheech and Chong movie, I'd like to say for the record.
You'll figure that one out. And they said to me, sir, we'd like to replace the grass at the White House.
Sir.
With the high
tears in his eyes, big strong guy covered in grass.
Quality grass and do a real job. So Scott's, I want to thank Scott's Miracle Grow. It's I think the biggest grass company in the world.
So it's plastic, is what you're telling us. Scott's Miracle Grow. It's made completely out of recycled Christmas tape.
Somebody said, but it's very big and very good, and the owners are fantastic people. And
they got a lot of grass laying around.
I want to thank them. So this side, they just started putting it down. If you can see, this will be happening over here too.
Oh, so there's no grass on that side? I was wondering. That grass looked a little rougher than the other grass. So you're saying that part has grass, this part has grass on it, and the other side doesn't have grass yet. Are you sure?
As you remember, I donated the flagpoles, one on each side, because the White House didn't really have an appropriate American flag. It had a small one on top. We left that, but it didn't have.
Because it's historically the size of the one that was on there, and these aren't. They're not monuments. They're representative.
Have an appropriate American flag, and this is a great pole. This is the top of the line.
That's a great pole. As poles go, I mean, you're not going to get a better pole than that. You can hammer on that pole, and nothing's going to happen.
It's tapered. This isn't.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, I hate when they're uniform. It's so cheap, you know? You want them to look like a candle.
A straight up and down job, which looks.
Yeah, this tour guide sucks.
Terrible, frankly. That's a tapered pole. Great. I'm very good at flagpoles.
Yeah, I'm very good at flagpoles. Okay, first of all, did anybody check to make sure that the taper went the right direction? I think that's the worry that most people have. It's tapered. I thought it was supposed to be thinner at the top, but I don't know. I deferred to them.
Which looks terrible, frankly. That's a tapered pole. Great. I'm very good at flagpoles.
I'm very good at flagpoles. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're so good at flagpoles. Does Natalie say that to you? Is that one of the harpisms? He's so good at flagpoles.
So we have the flagpole.
So we got the flagpole. He's absolutely the best at flagpoles. is the flag poles. Ooh, I love that feeling.
The grass, we have the entrance. And again, this is most
Also an exit. I mean, technically speaking, I don't know if are there arrows on the ground. Did they put that in the? Is it a unidirectional helipad? You can only walk away from a helicopter there. The entry helicopter pad is on the other side. So after you get off, you'll go on the other side, and you exit through the back, and that's where you that's where you exit to go out on the helicopter. So when you're done, you have to fly the helicopter over the White House to the other side.
going to be for helicopters, a lot of use. You know, when
Oh, that's why I call it the helipad. I see. Yeah. So it's mostly the helipad is mostly for helicopters. That's so weird. I got to rewatch Blue Thunder and figure out how all that works.
they landed a helicopter, every time they landed it, people would have to go outside with steel pads, put them down. They were just the size of one of these slabs, and put them down, and hope the helicopter was able to land them. The good thing about Marine One is the helicopter division of the White House, essentially.
Essentially, hence the name.
The good thing is the pilots are the best pilots in the world. We have the best plane.
So yeah, thank God they're that good, or they would have crashed a long time ago trying to land on grass. Yeah, military pilots famously really shitty, you know, at landing on uneven surfaces under duress and bad weather. You know, they got, unless you give those guys Jaffo. Unless you give those guys a flat surface, they're kind of fucked. MASH was bullshit, man.
Pilots, so we have the best helicopter in the world. They take them from the various services, the Army, they take them from the Air Force, the Marines, the best pilots. So they never had a problem landing them. But
yeah, we know, and we also saw them land on grass all the time without steel plates. You fucking lunatic.
it was not a good situation. And with the bigger helicopters, the more.
Okay, let's just get to it. You can't walk on grass anymore that isn't artificially flattened. That's why you drive your fucking golf cart up onto the green like a dickhead, because you can't walk through the rough without falling over.
Powerful helicopters.
Jesus Christ. They're going to do one of those like step-in baths and put rails on everything for this motherfucker.
Literally, this grass would be ripped out by its roots.
They're gonna, you know what? They're gonna put a people mover. I bet you anything. Like he's gonna go. You know, a lot of people don't like walking, so we put out one of those things you see at the airport, made out of granite, very heavy.
By its roots, and in one landing, the entire grass was gone. So what they did is when.
Okay, his administration tried to resod the grass in square chunks like you would do a fucking golf course, and then when they landed a military helicopter, it blew it all away. Because of course it would. They didn't have time to root, you shithead.
A president would be flown to the White House, they use different helicopters. I said, that's a pretty expensive way of doing it. So now with the helipad, we won't have any problem with the grass. Yeah, please.
Oh my God. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's the helicopters that can't deal with the uneven ground and the grass. It's the military pilots that can't deal with the uneven ground and the grass. It's not your lazy gold brickin' ass. Grass lives matter.
Right.
What is your plan if the Supreme Court rules against that?
Well, we hope that doesn't happen. I can't imagine it happening. The lawsuit the person had no standing. It was a person said she walked along and she didn't like the view, even though nothing was built.
Right. Well, you tore something down. You changed the view because you tore down a part of the White House.
Person that didn't like it and never even saw a rendering of it. We've gotten tremendous architectural reviews. It's beautiful.
Have you? Yeah, George Washington loved it. I saw the video.
The woman has absolutely no standing, according to every analyst that I've seen, legal analyst.
Yes, because you only watch what? Jonathan Turley.
And it's a lawsuit that should have never been even allowed to be brought. But hopefully we'll do very well with it. We had a great...
Sorry, all lawsuits should sort of be allowed to be brought. If they get kicked because of merit, that happens in the courts. That's how this should work. You have the right for redress of grievances. This is
a ruling from a very highly respected judge, as you know, and hopefully the Supreme Court will agree with that ruling.
When do you expect the helipad?
By the way, that's why no, he knew he was going to lose it. That's why they added the military bunker underneath it. That was not part of the original plan. They were going to just use it as a giant hospital room for him. But they decided, since we're going to do this, we might as well extend the part of the Truman underground further. That's how they're going to get around this. That's why the Supreme Court's going to sign off on it and say it has to be finished. The ballroom is just a fucking, again, a facade.
This will be open within, could be, it would be good if it was. I took an extra week to lift it. Again, what it was is it sloped, quite substantially this way. Because what we'll have here is people will get out.
Okay, tell me the story. So tell me about it. Here we go. They're in a car, I'm guessing, and they're in the building, or they took an Uber, or they're leaving a drunken party with Don Jr. where they watched a UFC fight, and then had a circle jerk on a pile of the Epstein tapes, and then they walk out.
They'll have, when it's good weather.
Okay, what if it's not? You know what? Save it. They're going to walk out when it's good weather. When it's bad weather, obviously they will be carried out in some sort of cushioned chair where beefy men have a pole on each shoulder.
They'll, in addition to helicopters, you'll see the surface is incredible. All of these letters are hand carved and put into the black stone, which is also about 35,000 pounds per square inch. You'll see the quality of the work. You have to look when you get up there. Look at the quality of the letters.
When you get up there. What do you mean? In a helicopter?
And the quality of the cut. How it's 1/10 of an inch around the entire.
He measured with his dick.
But these are done. These
Sorry. At some point.
People are brilliant artists, really. Oh, yeah, now you can do a much better state. This will be much better for state arrival. And in fact, instead of being on grass now, they'll be using that almost like a...
Yeah, world leaders hate grass. Ugh. It's embarrassing. And don't get me started on this sea to shining sea stuff. When are we going to... The glare coming off these seas is just awful.
Table. They can have events on it. They can have people go there for cocktails.
The hella party.
And then walk to the ballroom. After that's finished, we could have really incredible. This is unbelievable for state, without even having to go into the White House.
Jesus Christ! It's just, it's like the not so great Gatsby. It's just a monument to like cocktail hubris. They've given up on we're not gonna have smoke-filled rooms. We're gonna have fucking parties just out in the fucking open. Sucks to be you, poor people.
They get out of the car on the beautiful new roadway. They get out of the car.
The piece of roadway, you didn't do the whole thing. The rest of the road is asphalt, which is really pathetic, I gotta say. Whoever did that design must be an asshole.
They walk down this path onto that, and they can have cocktails and everything outside of the White House.
Can they? What if they just want a coffee?
And then they go into the ballroom.
There'd be an espresso machine. I hope there'll be an espresso machine. The canopies, those little, little mini cannolis. Those things are fabulous. They have those. I don't. At mass gatherings, I just can't trust little skewers with shrimp on them. It just seems like it would be unsafe to eat, and so I'm not living my best life if I'm walking around with a cocktail on the helipad going to the ballroom and they're serving those things.
Even the military, they can use it like that, and we have
for what? Staging mortars?
There's so much a military component with the drones and the bomb shelters and everything else that we have.
The bomb shelters and everything else
in there. So it's really,
it's the people's bomb shelter.
It started off as a ballroom. And before we started work, the military came to see me and they say, sir, we have an opportunity.
Horseshit.
do something incredible here.
Nope. Nope. He just wanted a ballroom, and everybody's like, they're going to shut it down. How can we cover? And they were like, well, do what Truman did. He was able to do what he did, but only because he was basically reinforcing it by putting a bunker underneath it. If you put a bunker underneath it, they really can't do anything. That's why he did it. They didn't come to him. Bullshit.
And we've been trying to do it for 100 years.
No, they haven't.
But we've never had an opportunity like that. So
Sorry, who's we?
I had to make that decision. I said, look, go ahead, design what you want. And that goes down 5 stories. It goes down almost 65 feet.
Shh.
Well, I'm not allowed to discuss that, but
No, but you told them how deep it is, so now they know what kind of weapon they would need to. All right.
a lot of very detailed stuff. That's why bringing the lawsuit was very unfortunate, because most people didn't know that. Now they do know that. They shouldn't have known that. And I told that to the national, it's called...
Everybody knows it about the Truman remodel. Who gives a fuck? It wasn't the idea in the beginning, you liar.
The National Trust for Historic Preservation of the United States. It's not associated with the United States. The United States doesn't even donate to it because they don't agree with it, because they made fools out of themselves over the years. But I said to
Yeah, it's the ICC of monuments.
you know, if you do this, you'll file it in court and people will see what we're doing, and the enemy shouldn't be allowed to see it. They didn't care about that because they don't care about the country.
Well, also, they didn't have to know about it. They could just say, we're extending the bunker under the White House underneath the ballroom, and they would have gone, well, then rebuild the fucking East Wing on top of it, you asshole. Or save the outside of it. And he was like, fuck it.
Okay, come on over here.
Don't chip the stone.
Nice job, fellas. Does anybody know the word media?
What?
This is serious media.
Yeah, no, nobody knows the word media. They all work for a living. These are all blue-collar people. They don't know fancy words like media. I think that's is it Italian? Who knows?
You guys are doing a great job. Sorry to take an extra week and a half. Lifting it up is one of the best things we've ever done, right?
Sir.
Lifting it up, right? Thank you, Jared. I knew you didn't like that. But and it's still grains. I watched it. There's enough grain. It's fine. But the lifting it up was a big element, because we're going to use this for a lot of different things. So this is a helipad at the highest level. It can...
No, not true. If it was a helipad at the highest level, it would have some sort of like grippers on the side of it that could catch a helicopter that's drifting in a storm. It would have some sort of magnetic field in it, probably a nuclear missile that could launch out of the center of it, like Team America, World Police.
Land any helicopter in the world, no matter how big, no matter how powerful, no matter how strong.
Yeah, well, there's a sort of an ROI on the size of a helicopter.
I was explaining for the construction people, I was explaining how...
Oh, good. Yeah, thank you. Explain it to the construction people. They're not very bright. What do they know? They work with their hands.
When the new big Sikorskys landed, the grass was completely wiped out. Yeah, come on over here, fellas. The grass was... fellas, come on over here. Come on. And I
Stand behind me while I mock the fact that you guys don't understand weight displacement in grass.
just want to say they've done a fantastic job. So if you take a look from the media standpoint, you look at the lettering and you look at the joints, they're like flawless. It's like 1/10 of an inch, and it's the exact same size. These are real artists.
I'm sorry about saying that he measured that with his dick earlier. That was untoward. He actually can fit it into the gap. And that's how they do it.
Where's Brett? Here. I don't want to give him too much credit, and I don't want a lot of people using him, so I'm not going to even mention his name. I'll just say his name is Brett, because I don't want other people...
Because he doesn't remember his last name.
We got a lot of work to do, and I want you to stay here. I'm not looking for you to go to other jobs, okay? But the job he's done, he's an artist, Brett Rugo. He's an artist, and When you see in the middle, they're doing the eagle of the United States of America.
Yeah, we understand it's the seal. You're recreating the seal. No one's ever going to accuse you of originality. Just garish, flagrant bullshit.
That's what's in the process, and I guess that's what I'm signing right here. So they're doing the head of the eagle, and that'll be, and it'll be amazing. Right?
Yeah, it almost as amazing as the quality audio from the White House.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, there it is.
I love holding up pictures. Give me some poster board.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Wow. This is going to look Aaron from every place. And again, this is going to be used for a lot of different celebrations, a lot of different big meetings where, as an example, President Xi is coming in a little while, a couple of weeks. And we didn't plan to have this done, but it's gone so well. I delayed them a week with the lift, but that's okay. That was a good delay. That was a very good. But President Xi is coming, other heads of state.
What the fuck is that? Is it some sort of spider drone?
Will come, and we can do this all.
What? Oh, that's the grinder? Is that how they grind the... All right.
Outside, nice weather like today. And this was not a scheduled press conference, but I thought it's so good what we're doing.
Look, dude, I'm happy you're doing anything but actually running the country. Do I think what you're doing to the White House is a travesty? Yeah, but it's much easier to remedy than your tariff bullshit or your mistreatment of immigrants or women or minorities. So yeah, dick around with... Yeah, give this fucker some marbles and let him bang them around for a while.
People should see, because the White House was in terrible condition. Some of these men worked on the facade of the White House, along with the Department of Interior, Doug Burgum, who's been fantastic. But they worked on the facade of the White House. And if you look at it now...
Yeah, you already did this part.
If you would have looked at it 6-7 months ago, you would have been embarrassed. If you looked at it like I do, I look at it, everything, you know, I'm a real estate...
we look at it and we're embarrassed because you're in there. I don't know why an old building that's been around for a long time in its natural state and the regular upkeep of it is embarrassing. I think it's the smell, really, at this point.
Real good developer, and frankly, it used to make me sick to look at how horrible the condition was, where the stone was broken. The columns had big chips in them, a foot long.
Was it vandals? Did vandals come and do it? Did they ruin it? I mean, I guess this is a better conversation to have than the reflecting pool, right? Anytime you're not talking about the reflecting pool, which of course apparently they did catch the vandal that did it, and it was a guy named Jeffrey Epstein.
Terrible. And now it's perfect. It's perfection. And I think you can see that pretty much, right? Even from this
pretty much
distance, you can see it. We made life much more comfortable for the people upstairs, too.
Why?
Equipment is all modern and the top of the line. You know who I'm talking about.
What do you mean? You mean that's the guy that put the carpet in the bathroom?
So it's great. But this was very exciting. And
yeah, it was. Now it's not anymore. I'm over it.
Interestingly, I received zero criticism. It was shocking because I'm used to criticism. But then after...
Yeah, they were busy criticizing you about the arresting people because of your fuck up with the reflecting pool. You also killed 170 schoolgirls. So, yeah, it's not that we don't think you're full of shit and this is terrible. It just, we got bigger fish to fry.
Open, I always get praise. A lot of times I get criticism, and then when they see the final product, they say, that was great. This will be the greatest...
No, actually, they don't.
This military complex / ballroom.
/ ballroom. And I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of competition in the military complex / ballroom world. I don't know what to tell you. It's got big shoes to fill.
Anywhere in the world, there won't be anything like it.
No, probably not. Yeah, there are very few ballrooms that also have a military complex underneath them. I'm sure there's a few, probably in the mountains of Switzerland or wherever they gather at Davos. I'm sure that one has some sort of pentaveret underground attached, but nothing will touch the exclusivity of the hospital complex they are building to pump this asshole full of retatrutide and gene therapy and stem cells to try and help him make it to the end of his term.
When I was in China, they have the great room. They have a room that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty great, I heard.
And I'm not going to get into arguments with anybody, but this beats everything.
So this is a dick measuring contest between you and Xi Jinping.
Nothing like this anywhere in the world. And they've wanted the ballroom aspect of it for 150 years.
No, they really haven't.
They've wanted the military aspect. I would say it started about 75 years ago. And you can't go under this building because it's fragile, but you can go under new construction.
There is a bunker under that one, you dumb son of a bitch.
That's when the generals came to see me, and the military's been incredible. And we hated to have to reveal some of the things that we revealed. But I said to this fake National Trust, it's a fake deal. But I said to them,
why wouldn't you just say national security about what's going on underneath it and not give any details at all, asshole? I think it's largely because people can see the construction from above. You didn't build anything over it to hide what was going on underneath, and anybody could see it from. I mean, satellites just for starters, but anybody in a fucking airplane can see the hole, dummy.
If you sue, they're going to learn things about that building that, frankly, they should know.
Why? Why would the details matter? If they needed an 8-foot crawl space underneath the ballroom for national security, that's plenty. Same reasoning, shithead.
But they sued anyway because they don't give a damn about the country. And that's going to be one of the greatest structures. They were saying there's more rebar in that building than in the stadium that I think you guys are already building. Is that right?
There's an extreme amount of rebar. That's more than we would need.
An extreme amount of rebar.
Well, it's for strength.
Exactly.
It's never too much.
Yes, sir.
It can take about anything in terms of the power and the strength.
Yes, the power and the strength of more rebar than is necessary. It's more than necessary. Why is it necessary?
Explaining about the stone outside.
Tell him about the stone. We missed it.
5 to 35,000 pounds per square inch, and there's no concrete. No matter what concrete, you get a really powerful concrete. It's just
we're pretty cool on marble and granite, stronger than concrete. We know.
It's a tiny fraction of that in terms of strength. So this is the real deal. They finally have the heliport. I guess it started about 50 years ago. They've been trying to get a heliport built, and I said, we got to do it. That's what I do good. That's what you guys do well.
It's what I do good. I know flagpoles. If you're grass, you're happy.
Jared is the head of Clark, and he's done a fantastic job. Thank you on both projects. We appreciate it. Your people are fantastic. So we're ahead of schedule on this. We're ahead of schedule.
No, he's not. You're a week behind. Remember, you tilted the fucking thing. There is no schedule.
On that, and
it's not ahead of schedule on the fucking ballroom either. What are you talking about? It's stopped.
We're ahead of schedule on just fixing the building. The building is.
There is no schedule. You made it up.
It's unbelievable what's.
You're right. It's unbelievable. This is
taken place in a short period of time. This building was falling apart.
No, it wasn't.
It's falling apart.
No, it wasn't. You're falling apart.
Buying a building in New York City.
This building it has to wear a diaper. It's got to snort a rail of Adderall to get going in the morning. They were duct taping a kitty litter pan to its ass just so it wouldn't shit through its suit jacket. And, this building is in rough shape.
It's in bad
we had to get the building to take 4 dementia tests.
Shape and putting it back together. That's what I used to do. I did it better than anybody, I think. But
well, yeah. First of all, no. Also, of course you would think that.
That's what I did. You see the palm court. That was done by Jackie O. And it has tiles, 1x1 tiles that were very old, but not that old. They were like 20 years old. They weren't all the way back. She put a better floor, but it broke. And we put in the finest marble that you can get. It's called Statuario. It's beautiful. The white with the black, and it's book match. And everybody walks into that room, they say, wow, that's something. That's some difference, right, Steve, between what you had there. You had 1x1 tiles from a box. You buy it from any store. And they flipped them in, and they were all broken. And even in my first term...
Sorry, that's the Home Depot tiles he was talking about. And apparently Jackie O did that. She just went down to, got all dressed up like Audrey Hepburn and went down to Home Depot.
I noticed, I said, it's embarrassing when people come through that room and then go to the Oval Office. But we also fixed the Oval Office. The Oval Office was in very bad shape, so in many ways. So
yeah, especially, there's some weird smell in there they can't seem to get rid of except when you're gone.
Thank you all for being here. I'm going to be signing this. Do you want me to sign it over there? Tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do. Aw. Tell me what to do. I do great flagpoles, and if you're grass, you're happy. Tell me what to do.
Okay. Good.
You're gonna sign the bottom of it, and then they're gonna turn it over.
Wow.
Fucking witchcraft.
So this is the back piece. This won't be revealed. This is the back of the eagle's head. This is the eagle, exact of the. You look how fine that's cut. When you see it, you won't even believe it. And from the air, it looks.
They are seeing it.
So beautiful.
Yeah, the hard sell isn't. It looks even better far away. I don't think that's the sell you think it is. So I'm gonna sign the underside of this, then they're gonna flip it over face down as a monument to me, so we can all just go, under there it says Donald Trump did this, and thank God we don't have to look at it all the time. And then when he goes, they're gonna bury him under it.
But this is the back.
Can't go to Arlington, so they're gonna lift this thing up, and they're gonna lower what's left of him into it in an oil drum, and then put it back down.
And they flip it and they put it down, so nobody will see that unless in 400, 500 years they start taking it apart. So probably
or a couple of years.
Nobody will see it, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe a small accident happens and the head has to be replaced. Wouldn't that be a shame? Or that has to be redone.
Actually, I hope nobody ever sees it, because there's only one reason they'd see it.
I wish I wasn't seeing it now.
But
there's only one reason they'd be seeing it. Because they're expunging your existence from they're memory holing all of your bullshit.
I think I'd like to sign it, and I'd like to have some of the main construction guys like yourselves and some of you tough guys sign it too.
You tough guys.
You can sign this whole piece. Then we're going to put the coins, the special coins we have, and we're going to put the coins along with it. And we may put a couple facing up.
Oh my God! Look at these.
Some
things.
area where you have concrete that's wet. I don't know if you have any of those areas. I'm not sure that you do.
Some right there.
But you could put one of these into the concrete facing up, so people see it, because you're not going to find nicer. So they're going to take some of these.
You're not going to find nice
coins, which are somewhat different. These are coins that, like I gave to the young man the lifeguard who saved.
Oh God! You mean the things you can buy at the fucking gift shop?
The young boy.
The young boy. Remember the young boy?
Because he was truly a hero. And these will go like that. These are 3 different coins, all different.
Try to keep your eye on it. Which coin has the bean underneath it?
Like that. And like that.
Look at that. And you win. Yahtzee.
They're going to be flipped.
Yeah, it's like the Eagles got balls. It's like a big bat. He's just making eyes and.
But I think they're so beautiful that if we find a place on this whole big pad, we could put a few of them facing upward, right? It'd be pretty cool, right?
No, it's a stupid idea, you lunatic. How about this? Why don't you just put a coin-operated slot on it, and only people could land if they can put one of those in the slot, like a big video game.
Hey, I'm going to ask some of my people to sign this also. I know I'm supposed to sign it, but they've done such a good job. It's such an exciting project. It's a...
It is. My nipples are hard. It's incredible.
It's a no-story building, but it's as exciting as if you're building a building. And again, they've wanted this for many, many years.
It's a no-story building. I was like, for a second, I was like, there's no story to this whole thing. He literally means it's not a building. There's not a first floor and a second floor. No story building. It's a no story building. Fuck me. What?
But it's as exciting as if you're building a building. And again, they've wanted this for many, many years. The happiest people are the pilots, as great as they are. They say it's great not to be landing on wood or on a piece of steel that they put out for 10 minutes.
Do they? Is that what they say? It's good, sir. Big, muscly guys, bristling, dick hanging out, rock hard abs, oil glistening their midsection. Just fucking, what's up? You know, this is the latest. You know, and they come up and they say, sir, tears in their
literally
eyes.
put
Be nice to land on gold coins, sir.
it out
Like Scrooge McDuck's private helicopter.
and then take it away as soon as it was very heavy. And they take it away. They don't have to do that anymore. Okay.
King me.
I hope this is a good one. This better be a good one, even though
He means his signature because sometimes his brain farts and he puts too many M's in his name.
in theory, I don't know if anyone's ever going to see it again. Right?
Nope. Yeah, you fuck it up. Who cares?
That's a beautiful cut.
Be a shame if that thing was to tip over on you.
Hey, maybe we should reverse it. Let it stay up. I like it better than what's on the other side.
I like it better than what's on the other side, the bald eagle.
That's pretty great, huh?
Good boy. That was... What the fuck is going on there?
Oh, that's good.
You think? It looks like you're at an EKG for someone who's having tachycardia.
Looks pretty good. Very good. I think we should use this side. We're using the wrong side. We're flipping it. What do you think? Can we use this? Is that good? I'll tell you what. That's good. Come on, Brett. Sign this. Anywhere you want. Better be under my name now. I'll put it under. Nice.
Nice. You got a good signature there, and it's legible. That's weird.
Talented guy. Jared, come on. Let's get a Clark Construction, head of Clark.
Lefty. Uh-oh.
Come on over here, bro. Come on, get your long-term. We have to get your long-term employees.
Get you long-term employees.
Come on, Dave. Get over here. Come on over here. That's not fancy. That looks like Don Trump Jr. He gives a line. I say, you can't do that.
Well, it's easier to lie and say it's not yours later. That's why Don does his that way.
Okay. I'd like to have a couple of the guys in the military. Where are they? What's the best? Come on over.
Yeah, some military guys.
Get over here.
You get some of these helicopter pilots who've been bitching at me about the grass.
What a job you've done. Even though your work has been totally exposed now because of a stupid lawsuit. These are the military people. They've been unbelievable.
Yeah, the military people. I'm a big fan of him. The guy, the military people.
Tell them that's the strongest structure I think ever put up. That structure is the most powerful because it's needed for bad purpose.
It's needed for bad purpose. Boy, sometimes the truth just slips out, huh?
It's really bad purpose.
Yeah, it's really bad purpose. I agree. Fuck me. Is it sundown?
It's because it's needed for bad purpose. It's really bad purpose. If they have to ever use it, but if you look at that,
If they ever have to use it, if they ever have to send drones out to attack protesters who are scaring their Fuhrer.
those are called shear walls, and they're of the greatest strength concrete. And the steel goes in, but that keeps all the steel from twisting and turning. Normally, you'd never use a thing like that, but for purposes of the drone
Yeah, you would. It's a common construction technique.
and everything else,
What do you mean normally? You mean on a ballroom?
we needed it. Come on over here, Todd. Get over here. You think you're going to get away? He's been fin. This guy's fantastic. Is Dale here? Dale's around. Huh? Okay, well, we'll do it later then.
We'll do it later. Let these guys dick around in the sun, wait for everybody, all my cabinet members. Natalie, she can sign the balls.
So it's very exciting.
Is
Very
it?
exciting.
I'm very excited. Yeah.
I think we'll be here for a long time. This will be here long after we're gone. No matter what
Oh, so about 6 months?
happens with the world, this is not moving. This will take any kind of shot. But it's something
This will take any kind of shot. Again, don't tempt them, dummy.
we really needed badly for the helicopters, but we get a secondary use, and that's, you can have some beautiful
A party patio. Man, you disco, fucking build a grotto around that? Shit.
events here, including the greeting of people from foreign countries. They'll be very impressed. Right now, they're not impressed when they see coming in on asphalt, and they're not impressed. It's
No, asphalt, ugh.
never very impressive, but they're going to go the other.
It's almost as if we have a representative government that focuses more on the people, and they're not impressed by that shit.
Opposite. And one of the reasons, by the way, for the last number of years, no tents have been used, because tents are very dangerous. Tents are made out of plastic or canvas.
Oh yeah, that's tents, like, or even lean-tos. Thatch, that's bad too.
And they don't stop even the smallest of ammunition or bullets, not even
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could use Kevlar, I suppose. You could layer Kevlar, and that would do it.
the smallest. Ours will stop. You take AK-47s, you take the most powerful, it laughs at it. It laughs at it. I was saying
It laughs at the AK-47. Yes, you mean the walls?
to one of the military guys, how does it do with an AK-47? He goes, up, meaning it can take a lot more.
Oh, that's what it means. He just went like that. Does great, sir. Yeah. Means up.
Including drones. So
Drones with AK-47s? Holy shit. What a nightmare.
I thought this would be a little different kind of
Yeah, AK-47, not known for its penetrating power on big stone buildings, but okay.
a news conference, but I found out the guys were showing me this. We were going to sign this privately and just put it in. I said, this is something I think the press should see, and I hope you liked it. It's going to be finished. What do you think? What do you think, Jared?
The week of the 21st, before the state.
21st? Oh,
Yes, sir.
so we might make it for presidency.
Oh, lucky us.
That would be great. If we did this by the 21st, he's coming the 20th. That'd be nice. Be nice. Not imperative, but it would be very nice to have it done. It's pretty amazing to do it that quickly. Thank you all very much. Go have a good time. I think it's a great story, and these people are
It is. It's such a great story. I can't wait to read the articles about this.
part of that. So all these workers, I've watched them from windows, and they are
Oh, I don't doubt it. Pants around your ankles.
working at 6 in the morning till 12 o'clock in the night. Same thing with the military complex right over here. They're working
The military complex.
from 6:30 in the morning is late. If they get at 6:30, that's like almost late. And they work till 11:30, 12 o'clock every night. That's why you see it going up so fast and so properly. But I want to give a lot
I hope they're working in shifts.
of credit to the construction crews, because there's nobody like them. There's nobody like them. Great job. You've done fantastic. Thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
Mr. Bergman,
Can't tell you that. But I get along with him. And you know what? The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing,
That's the Kim Jong-un
not a
thing.
bad thing. He has 57 very powerful nuclear weapons.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Should have never allowed it to happen. They should have never allowed it. If I were president, I wouldn't have allowed it. But he's got
You were president, and you did allow it.
them. I get along with him very well. You can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And I know Kim Jong-un very well,
Yes, you're both disgusting.
and he's going to be fine. As long as we have a smart president, he's going to be fine. If we have a dumb president, then he's probably not
Shit, we're fucked.
going to be so fun. Yeah, I will be.
Give us any update on your negotiations with Canada for a trade deal?
Yeah, we had a very good conversation with the Prime Minister last night, and we've come to a deal with Canada. As you know, the 50% tariffs across the board were going on against Canada today.
Which is in violation of not only our regular trade laws in the country as far as Congress, controlling tariffs, but also a violation of the USMCA, which was his fucking deal in the first place.
And they called yesterday and they gave us the points that we had to have. Very fair deal for both.
Bullshit.
The tariffs will be non-existent for our farmers. Our farmers were paying tremendous tariffs into Canada, and those tariffs are going to be totally eviscerated, down to zero.
What's going to lower tariffs on autos?
We're doing certain things. Got to give something, and we're doing certain things. They were paying a high number. We're reducing it a little bit. It's good for everybody. But our farmers are going to be thrilled. Our manufacturers are going to be thrilled.
Why? Canada's not that fucking big, man.
And basically, we have no tariffs going into Canada anymore. Canada was charging us tremendous tariffs.
Yeah, to protect their own industry because they're a smaller country, you dipshit.
We no longer have any tariffs. And what I was
Also, nationalism will keep them from buying those goods anyways. You can ship all the fucking Wisconsin cheese in, but if people have an issue with it now because of you forcing them to buy it, they're just going to buy less of it. The government doesn't have to charge tariffs if the people reject it outright.
able to do is we put, as you know, under the new tariff, I guess you'd call it the new tariff schedules that we came out with. They were going to get a 50% tariff on everything starting today, and we've held it back 3 days. It's still subject to finalization of documents.
It's just bullshit tacoing.
Subject to the finalization of documents.
Finalization. That's like mutilization, right? That's another word. We're just making up words now.
Have a deal
Finalization.
with Canada, and I think it's a very good deal for both parties. It's great for our farmers. Our farmers will no longer be held up because they were being hurt very badly by
Why? What do you think the consumption level of fucking Canada is?
Canada. Yeah. The Strait, last night we had a lot of boats come through.
No, you didn't.
We have possession, complete control of the Strait. I mean,
No, we don't.
outside of nuisance value, and there is nuisance value when they shoot a drone
Nuisance value.
every once in a while, but
That's what we're calling it now in our special military operation. Nuisance value.
and not everybody's going to go through, but they come through. And over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of oil coming out. A lot of oil. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a lot of oil coming out. A lot. In fact, people are amazed. One of the reasons that oil hasn't
People aren't
gone to like the proverbial $300 a barrel.
That's not a proverbial number. That's a predictive number that you made up.
It's at 83, 84, 85. And it'll be a
Thank you, Ignat. Thank you very much.
lot lower when this is over because we have plenty of oil. But one of
And thank you, Baldanos, and thank you, David, by the way.
the reasons it never wanted the 3 and 350 numbers because we do. We have a lot
Because there's too much oil in the market already.
coming out.
There's a fucking glut. Because the rest of the world is moving on.
And people are finding alternatives too.
Yes. Wind, solar, and geothermal.
And you know one of the alternatives? Texas. You know another one? Alaska. Louisiana. They're coming to the United States to get oil. And people say, oh, you shouldn't say that because it makes it sound, well, it is what it is. I mean, they're
It makes it sound what? Like you're murdering people for resources? Yeah.
coming to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska.
Also, no, they're not. Our output has not increased. We're locked at 13.5 a day, 13.5 million a day. Like it'll gradually grow, but it's not. There's no exponential growth. Like, oh shit, we got so much oil, we can replace what's out there. The need isn't there. Demand destruction is what's causing this.
To get oil.
Mr. President,
About what? Maybe at some point, but right now, I think the situation is so good, but maybe at some point. Look, it's very simple. They have to get rid of completely. They have to get rid of no nuclear weapon. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You know why? Because they'd use it, and we're not going to let them use it. So
If they use it, everybody would use it on them at the same day. Like Israel has whatever, at least a couple dozen now.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't. Thank you very much. I'm glad you came out. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. Stop talking to him. Lumbutum. Oh, and they don't even show him doing the
we're
walk.
doing a-
Hold on. Back into place. I was going to cover some of his little crypto cabinet thing, but that took a long time. This is blather, by the way, money laundering bullshit. But I would like to point out that one of the big moments in this was him starting, let's see if I can find it.
Success of our country, not rise because of the success. But we're also on the very beginning of a revolution in fictional and financial. You take a look at some of
Oh, yeah. Fictional financials. There it is. That sums it all up. Also, Trump started the Bitcoin reserve. Do you guys remember when he started the Bitcoin reserve last year? America would have a Bitcoin reserve so that we're going to, and everybody was excited about what that would do for the Bitcoin markets. Okay, first of all, the Bitcoin reserve was not started with a purchase of Bitcoin showing an expectation that it was worthwhile. It was a shifting of seized assets that may or may not, by the way, be kept, because if somebody's, fights it in court and wins their shit back, you got to give it back to them. So it's not really a reserve. It's just a big holding. But he started this thing where he's like, America's going to have a crypto reserve, like a crypto Fort Knox, and all of it comes from asset seizure, all of it. No purchase, which does not show, again, any belief in the system. It's just taking it from fucking people. Okay, and saying that's ours now, and we're keeping it in a vault like he's a fucking pirate. Now, does anybody remember, chat room? Thumb. Do I have the? Let's see if we got a little game show, ladies and gentlemen. Where is our? Because I know I have it somewhere. I'm fairly certain. Do I have it? Do I have my? I've got to have my little music, my hold music. I'll get rid of it. Fucking hell. God damn it! I don't have my hold music. Shit. All right, we'll just have to pretend. Dum. Does anybody remember what Bitcoin was worth when Donald Trump went all in on Bitcoin last year and decided we're going to have a U.S. Bitcoin reserve? Does anybody remember? Let's see who can come up with how much was it. Was May of last year. How much was Bitcoin worth May of last year? Not bad, Moon Girl, but fairly close. Okay, I'll just give it to you. 57.90. Thank you. Becky gets it. Well done, Becky. $90,000 a piece. That's right. And why did I shrink myself? It just happens, I guess. Yeah. $90,000 for per Bitcoin. Does anybody know what it's worth now? You can look it up if you want to. Hint, it's less. Right. It's like, yeah, it's like 68,006 or some shit like that. Yeah. So Trump goes all in on this, and as soon as he gets involved in Bitcoin and goes, we are going to be way ahead of everybody else, and we're going to be awesome on Bitcoin. This is our thing. We're going to finally live in the now and in the future, and we're going to have Bitcoin as America's going to dominate crypto, and we're going to start this reserve. And right now, when it's worth $90,000, and then it goes to 68,000. It's almost as if everything Trump touches turns to shit. And the same thing happened with our AI models. As soon as he was like, we're going to dominate on AI everywhere. America's going to be way ahead on AI. DeepSeek scared the shit out of everybody because it was an iterated model that could operate for less. Now, again, DeepSeek is a myth, but that doesn't matter. It undermined God knows there is no upside to crypto. There never was going to be one. But it is very telling that whatever Trump gets involved with is eventually going to eat shit. Just so fasten your seatbelts, kids, because he's got his tiny, bruised, cracked, crusty fucking hands in everything right now. And anything he puts his attention on is going to it's going to collapse. It's going to be half of what it was worth when he got involved, including the American economy, all these kind of things. And our responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, is to look out for those less fortunate around us when that shit happens so that we can help them get through it. If you have an ounce of strength more than someone else does, and when shit starts hitting the fan because of this dickhead, your responsibility is to help those who don't. That's it. Just be, as I always tell my son, be good, do good. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. You're awesome. Remember, there are no magic rocks, and you're all magic. Thank you. Thank you. Helmet hair, shaking on the tarmac. Moon dust still in the folds of my hands. You look up, but your sky is crowded. Tiny screens drowning out the span. Hit that like, share the show. Thank you guys so much.
Every street buzzing, sharp and loud. I float in the gravity of old fights. You laugh like it's just another cloud. From up there, you're a blue marble, bruised paper thin halo, hanging abused. I held my breath as you spun in the dark. How can you burn what you are?
Enjoy Boston, Brian.
What you are. Saw your eyes through a scratched window. Porcelain balanced on black. Every wall looked like dust and water. Every border just a nervous crack. Now I'm back and the ground feels fragile. Cracked cups stacked in a kitchen sink. Your scream about lines on a map. Wow, your oceans crawl closer to the brink. From up there, you're a blue marble, bruised paper thin halo, hanging abused. I held my breath as you spun in the dark. How can you burn what you are? How can you burn what you are? Just your light through a visor reached for home in a sea of black.